Hey guys, we are live. I think they can see us. Let's see. Can they see us? Yep. Oh, well, I guess if I moved over and hit live chat where I can actually see the chat, I know who was here. Sorry, guys. Is your sound working, Tori?
It's working, I think. I hear
Okay.
you. Can you hear
Yep, I
me?
can hear you.
Okay. It's actually
Um,
quiet here for now.
for now.
For
For
now.
now. Tori's house could explode with children noises at any moment, and mine can explode with animal noises at any moment, so forgive
Oh,
us. Hey,
mine can
Dee.
explode with animal noises too.
Oh, yeah,
Let's not
that's
pretend
true.
it's just the kids.
Hey, okay, let me run through the chat real quick, and as I get going, I will probably miss people, so I apologize. Well, hello, Christy. Hi, Jacqueline. Hi, Jean. Bitch Talks, my queen moderator, Kristen. Let's see. Foxy in the Boxy. Hi, honey, how are you? Haven't seen you in a while. Alexis Blackheart, my birthday twin. Nacha Mama's out with dinner with her husband, and I'm kind of jealous because I haven't been out in ages, and my husband's out of town. So, Uh, and for all and Rebel Soul, hello. How are you? And for all those watching not chatting, make sure you hit the thumbs up. Um, so just so everybody knows, we're gonna be respectful in the chat. Everybody's allowed, unless they get ugly, they get a timeout. And when I say block, mods hit the block button. Steph, you're usually pretty good at keeping on that. We're not going to attack. Tori and I are not here to do that. I
No,
wanted
not at
to.
all.
If it had been a week ago, 2 weeks ago, I'd have come in guns blazing and
Yeah, but that's why we are doing it now. We had to have time to calm
I,
down
I had to I
and
had to
approach
cool
this professionally. And yeah,
um and we're gonna cover a few topics tonight. We're gonna discuss, well, it's all gonna be the same topic, but we are gonna discuss our time and our part in the business when we were with Fancy Maselli and on by proxy, our business now, and things that are happening. She might be. I don't remember that one. I didn't watch Pastor Miller a lot, Foxy, because he drove me crazy. um, and it's going to be a lot, and it's going to be a lot of details, and there's going to be some stuff that I deal with when it comes to Christy and Gypsy. And there will be no hate in this chat when it comes to that family. That is a zero
right,
tolerance. Period.
right.
For one thing, the terms of service of YouTube says that you do not attack victims of families of victims and families of crime, and we're not going to do that. It's not going to be
Right,
allowed.
right.
Um, yes, I am. Just before people get all worked up, yes, I am absolutely a Gypsy supporter. Do I always agree? No, but I support her.
Hey, I don't know who you are because I don't know your YouTube name, but if you remember me, then hi.
She
You're
was on the
mod.
Natasha side of things, and that's how I met her. She was very
Okay,
concerned
okay,
about Fancy at one time and came to me.
okay.
Um, I probably
I'm
don't know
surprised you remember me. I
anyone
stayed
worth
quiet
talking
through
about.
all of that.
Rebel Soul, you may not. There's going to be a lot of people that a lot of y'all do not know because they're not on YouTube. Hi, just carry me. So, and I do have screenshots and things to show, and I have blocked out um, names to the best of my ability. I have left some first names and pictures of people that are involved because they're already on here. Um, we are we have a lot to cover because not only are we being slandered, our business is being slandered, and we're just not playing. Um, my husband has given me permission. Well, actually, he hasn't given me permission. He has given me orders, and that doesn't happen often. If y'all know me, you know it don't happen. If things don't stop, I will be contacting our law firm that's through our company. He is for a national company that does have a law firm that helps their employees. And I will be filing an RO and slander. I'm not going to be accused of stealing, and I'm not going to be accused of stalking.
Right.
Period. Because I have not done that, and I'm going to prove that. If it keeps happening, and this is the one and only warning, Fancy, you're welcome to come in this chat. You're welcome to come ask me Tori questions. You're welcome to bring your proof. We don't go to your channel because you have us blocked. You're not blocked here because I don't play that way. If I'm going to talk about you, You're going to have the chance to come in here. Hey, Jazz. Um, Brandy taking orders from Tori does pretty good. Tori calls me and says, I'm placing a gag order before I go any further because she knows that if
Because
she
I
doesn't
know.
stop me, I'm going to go. But I do good, don't I, Tori?
You do. You do.
I
I have
do.
not had to yell at you yet. You've
I've been
honored your
so
gag
accused of
orders.
that so many times, and I'm like, Tori doesn't see it because she just says, Brandy, you're under a gag order, and I need you to calm down before I go there. And I'm like,
Now,
okay.
I do have to start the conversation with that so that you're aware of it, because I and ignore the background. Like we said, my house is crazy. So right now
Her husband has, her
I'm
husband
in
has,
my
oh,
kids' room, away from my
I,
kids with the toy dinosaur
I
and
need
their
him.
stickers. So ignore my
Her
mess.
husband's been sick, and those that pray, please pray for our partner Tracy. Her grandson is in the hospital, very serious, dire situation. So please keep them
Yes.
lifted in your prayers. They would have been here tonight, and Tori would have been at the shop, so that she could have done this in a little more peaceful zone.
Right.
Um, Absolutely, Jacqueline. It's just all I ever expect. Hey, Lady Shades, Brandy, I haven't seen you in forever. You look great. Thank you, honey. I'm losing weight, guys, and that makes me very happy. Just saying. So, um, where do we want to start exactly, Tori? Do you want to start with yours?
I don't even know where to start,
Let's
honestly.
do that because
Like,
you've been involved a lot longer. How did you meet Fancy, and how did your time with Fancy and the very first business start into by proxy? Let's go there.
okay. So I actually met her. She put a casting call out for a web series that she'd written. Um, and I responded to that, showed up for the table read, was cast in a role. And we actually did become friends. There was a friendship there, to begin with. And through that friendship, we kind of bonded and we started a production company together. And to the best of my knowledge, and I could be wrong, I'd have to go back and look through all of my emails, paperwork, all of that. But to the best of my knowledge, that's actually the only business contract that I have ever been in with her, like an actual signed contract. That company was called Unfiltered Dreams Productions. And um, needless to say, there was some drama involved in that company with a TV show that we were writing together, and there were several writers. I'm not trying to take a lot of credit for that. There were multiple writers from multiple states, and everybody who was involved deserves credit for that show, should it ever be made. Just saying. Um, but there was some drama involved in it, and um, eventually it got to a point where Fancy and I had a rather huge disagreement between myself, her, and a third partner that we had brought into the company. And so we parted ways initially then. Now, this was before I had my son, who is already 6. And when we parted ways, I had paid for um, the registration for the company name. I'd paid to register it. And she went and she changed it and added somebody else as a partner and took me out completely and basically took the entire thing away from me. I should have been mad. I kind of was mad at the
Britt.
way it was done, but I thought it was for the best. So it was like, okay, whatever. Fast forward a few months. Um, and we started talking again as friends because again we were friends at one point. We actually were. So we were talking again, and she said, so I have to tell you about this person I've met that I really want to help them. And it happened to be Christy. She'd met Christy, I guess. Sorry about the shaking. I have a dog I call Demon Dog. She is a 1-year-old golden doodle, and she has the energy of I think an entire litter of golden doodles. So she snuck her way in here and she's walking in circles and hitting the laptop with her tail. So give me a second, the shaking will stop. Anyway, so she was telling me about Christy. She'd met Christy in a gypsy support group, and she was like, so I want to help her. I want to talk about Gypsy's story. I want to tell what really happened because Gypsy doesn't get to tell her side of things, her story, because she's locked up. So I was like, okay, well, tell me more about it. We talked a little bit, and she brought me back onto her team, which ended up being by proxy. Now, when she left, when we parted ways the first time, she took the original company, the Facebook page, all of that, and just changed the name to Dog, I Swear. Um, that wasn't the name. That wasn't the name, but
Hey, everybody coming in that I haven't talked to, we're going to let Tori finish getting her story out.
so she changed the name at that point to, I believe, Mad Ginger Entertainment, because she says she has red hair. And I believe she said that her other partner had red hair. I don't remember. I was never really close to that other person. So they changed it to Mad Ginger Entertainment, or Mad Ginger something, but they started by proxy. Um, Eventually, she said, I really need you here, Tori. You're my writing partner. I think we can do this. So I came back in as a partner. Now, when I did that, there was never any paperwork, never a contract. So when she
So you
tells
didn't
me,
sign an NDA?
I did not.
Okay.
I did not. I did not. I didn't sign any paperwork. Um, I had kind of learned from my first experience with her that no matter what you do, she's going to take it, twist it, and use it against you. From my experience. Now, I can't speak for other people's experiences. I can only speak for my own, but that's what I had gotten from her. So I was very careful to protect myself. So there was not a contract. Um, and but through that, we started working with Christy. We started communicating mostly. Now, I sent one letter to Gypsy and she responded back. And Gypsy and I, to the best of my knowledge, Christy, you'd have to either confirm or deny this, but I think Gypsy and I are okay. We've never, to my knowledge, had a problem. I let her know my thoughts on her and my support for her from the beginning, and that hasn't changed. But when Gypsy and Fancy started fighting with each other, and now this is fast forward a little bit, it got ugly. It got very ugly. Give me a second. Okay. It got really ugly. Names were called back and forth. And that is when Fancy's story really started to change. And I started to see a side that I really was not sure that I wanted to support. I kind of stuck it out. I hate confrontation. Like, I've been sick to my stomach over this live right here since Brandy and I talked about doing it.
I have no idea. So let's pause there because this is where I come in on the picture, and then we'll be able to pick up. That way, we're not going backtracking.
Yes.
And I'm going to tell you, we've talked every day about doing this for 2 weeks. If we're doing it, what we're doing, how we're doing it, and we've both been. I don't have a problem with confrontation. Y'all know that. This has bothered me. I've had a hard time because I want to do this right. I don't want to be a bitch. I do want to be a bitch. I do want to be a bitch. I'm going to take that back. But I want to be a professional bitch.
Right.
I want to be above board. And I don't, and Christy has even told me, yeah, you don't have a problem taking somebody to task. I don't. And it would I love to get on TikTok and do a screaming match back and forth with her and hate I could. I don't have time. Because guess what? We're actually doing some serious shit with our business.
Right.
Tori and I spend 12 to 16 hours a day doing stuff on our network. So we are extreme. I don't have time for this. I didn't want to do this. And we had other people that were going to come on that were part of the team, whether in research or different aspects throughout the time. They all wanted to come on here. And Tori and I made the decision not to do that for several reasons. One is that we do not want people attacked. We do not. We know the heat that it's going to bring. We know how she's going to react. She's already making threats, y'all. She's making threats about having a gun on her all the time. She's coming after me. All of these things. She has made enough things that I've had enough people message me. Are you watching her? She's unhinged. Are you okay? I'm protected, guys. She's too far away from me. She may know people that can get to me, but I can promise you they don't want to come here. And I am going to protect myself legally. So we didn't want them attacked. We didn't, we didn't want this to turn into a dog pile on Fancy, because that's not what it's about. We're going to be
This
Um,
is more about just telling the facts
right. We're going to
and
be factual.
countering the things that we've been accused of.
Right.
So
And at that time, and by proxy, we were on Facebook,
right.
and I was in all of the different groups, and I was already defending Christy and Gypsy and Fancy, and it was this, and I wasn't even part of the team. And Fancy had somebody on, and I do not remember who it was at the time. It may have been Bowker. I don't know. Honestly, do not remember who it was. And they were talking about some stuff with Nick in the BDSM lifestyle, and they had everything wrong. And I messaged her. A little bit of back history, guys. I have history in that. And I'm like, oh, y'all have this wrong. It's da 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 da. And so Fancy and I began this conversation, and she was like, oh, I could really use you on the team. Would you like to come and help us? Brandy said, I keep me some steel if anyone tries to come or home. I know, girl. I can't. Well, not only that, I've got a 95-pound fuck around and find out sitting right here that, let me tell you what, he has broken his kennel 3 times when he's heard a man outside when my husband's not home. So he ain't playing around. So, and I'm out in the country. You can't find me. I'm not that easy to find. Google can't even pick me up. Anyways, I joined the team, and I began immediately kind of entrenched in things, and I was going to start transcribe. Guys, hey, quit. I was going to start transcribing trial stuff and things like that, and then it kind of took a different direction. Fancy will tell you that she told me to stay out of the groups and not defend her. I'm fixing to show you where that was not what was said. She's flat out said I was her guard dog, because I did go in the groups, and I did defend, and I did call people out, and I did go to war. Speak of 95 pounds, fuck around, find out. Jovi!
Excuse me,
He
guys.
sees his shadow in the sliding glass door. um, Totally lost my train of thought. Oh, and this one screenshot that I have, she calls me her guard dog. And because I literally went in and I stood up for them. I mean, and I took a lot of hits. Stephanie came to me, Bitch Talks come to me at one point and said, are you guys okay? Yes, just carry me. My German Shepherd boy is named Jovi because I am a huge Bon Jovi fan. Oh my God, what are they doing? Let me go. Tori, take over. I will be right back.
Okay. Excuse me, guys. I'm so sorry. My husband's been sick for a week. I've been sleeping on the couch to not get it, but I think I've got a little bit of cold from it. So I apologize for the coughing. During this time, I actually, again, I don't like confrontation. So for the most part, I stayed out of the drama and the going in the chats and the groups. That was more of what Fancy and Christina and Brandy, they kind of took on more of the group talk. So I'm actually surprised at any of you that even remember me, because I really tried to stay out of things. But about that time, I was pregnant with my son, who's now 3. It was a very rough pregnancy. And so it was a valid excuse, but I used that excuse as I've got some major medical things going on. And I had to step back for a little bit. So at this point, I'm kind of more in the background. I was there. I was a sounding board, but like Brandy said, Fancy would come to me and say, oh my gosh. I mean, I even have screenshots that I could probably send to Brandy. I don't think I did. But they even said, like, I can't believe Brandy is going off again. And she'd ask me, she'd say, you need to call Brandy and tell her to stop. And I'd call Brandy and she'd be like, what do you mean tell me to stop? She's the one that told me to go and say these things. Excuse me, to go and say these things. So there was a lot of the things Brandy said and did. It was not something that Brandy did just on her own. She didn't just go off all willy-nilly. She was directed to do so.
The last time that the only time, there was one time she told me not to say anything, and that was in 2021. Natasha Cooper was over here on YouTube. We were kind of coming on YouTube. We were working on an event that was a very important event that I'm going to show how that went down. Um, but Fancy was going in the groups. Nobody else was on. Nobody paid attention to the groups. Tori wasn't paying attention to the groups. Ty wasn't in the groups. Christina wasn't really in the groups. She was kind of in some of them, but not many. And Fancy was going in the groups, and she would say things about Natasha that had nothing to do with her. Well, Natasha called me out on YouTube, said something. Well, I was in one of the groups and said something to her because I knew she would see it. And she went to them wanting me to stop. And I said, no, I have the right to defend myself. And she went to Christina and Tori and was like, she needs to quit. This is going to hurt our business. It's going to hurt the event. And, Natasha and da-da-da-da. And I'm like, if I have to stop defending something she said about me, how come she is allowed to go in those groups and say things that have nothing to do about her? And they're like, oh, we didn't know she did that. So I sent them screenshots. Oh, that's a little bit different. And I'm like, and so I went and removed the post or the comment in the group or whatever, and it was Angela Ferris's group, and I was mad about it. And I posted on Facebook about being mad about doing something. I let somebody make me do something I don't normally let happen, and I was irritated about it. And so she immediately took that screenshot and went in there and was telling Tori and Christina, see, this is what she does. And what did it say? This is learned behavior. What is learned behavior?
Yes.
That I'm mad that you made me take something down?
What the hell? I didn't understand that. I couldn't understand, like, see, look, this is learned behavior. And I'm like, I never quite understood that. And you can see, Brandy, even from the screenshots in those group chats, I wasn't doing a lot of talking. I stayed out of it, even in the own groups that I was in. So.
Well, and then here we were, and we were in these groups, and it was, and those of y'all, there were a few of y'all in here from those days. The Facebook wars is what we refer to as Facebook wars were nasty. They were horrible. Fancy isn't lying about that stuff. She is not lying about the pages they made about her, the memes they made about her. They tormented her. She's not lying about that. I'm right is right and wrong is wrong. She's not lying.
Right.
She has changed it and blamed Christy for that. And I have proof, and I'm going to show that she knows exactly who made those pages. And that it wasn't Christy. And as a matter of fact, one of those pages, and I have the conversation, was made before the woman even ever joined up with Natasha. Fake by proxy was started before she joined Natasha. Had nothing to do with Natasha, nothing to do with Christy, none of it. Neither did Free Craig. None of that had anything to do with Christy. So blaming Christy for those things is not okay.
Right.
It's just not.
Right.
Yeah, and it really did become a who's got who's what and first and most important thing. It was crazy. And so that's where I got very angry because it was, all of that was bad. It was bad. I spent hours on the phone with Fancy. Hours. When I wasn't on the phone with her, Christina was on the phone with her. When Christina wasn't on the phone with her, Tori was on the phone with her. Because she was tormented. It was bad. She was definitely having a very difficult time.
Right. And I will agree with that. The things that she went through then were, some of the things said were horrible. They really were. I'm not excusing it at all. I understand. I see why people were reacting that way, because sometimes when you're angry, when you're hurt, you lash out and you react. But at the same time, it was bad. Those things really shouldn't have been said. And I know a lot of the people that said them have come back and even apologized. So
they've all of them have gone to her. Well, most of them, 3/4 of them have gone to her, apologized, owned what they did, and everything. So she knows who was behind what page.
Right.
And they didn't remove them.
But it fits the narrative now to blame it all on Christy. Because it helps for all of the Nick supporters that she has right now, that she's trying to get to follow her. If she can turn something against Christy and blame something on Christy, that builds them up and angers them even more, so they can turn even more on Christy and on Gypsy. And then they follow her. So she's building this following that she lost because she went from supporting Gypsy to not supporting Gypsy. She's trying to find that following again, and she's found it in Nick supporters, even though I've got screenshots and screenshots and screenshots for days showing the things she said about Nick. So if you're in here listening and think that she's actually a Nick supporter, she's not. There is no way that I could possibly believe that she has switched on some of the things that she said. And now maybe she has, maybe, but I find it hard to believe.
I
So,
think she's softened, and I can because I softened some too in learning more things about him, but not. I don't understand switching the way things have switched. The videos that she's put out, the stabbing video, where they're blaming Gypsy for the
oh my
stab,
gosh.
y'all.
Now,
Tori called
my
me because I was so livid. I was crying. I was so pissed off.
now here's the thing. On that video, at the end, they said entertainment purposes only. This is just my opinion or something along those lines. But here's the thing, psychologically speaking, if I come to you, and Brandy, this is why on my conversations with you, I start out with, you're on a gag order. Because when you tell a story, psychologically speaking, when you tell a story that has some type of an emotional connection, emotional reaction, you stick, and what sticks in your mind is that first part and that emotional part. So if I come and I tell this big, long story, like, all right, let me back it up just slightly. So back in high school, we were told, I was in a creative writing class. I wrote a short story, I don't know, like 5 pages long, not even very long. It was about my poor, sweet baby sister that was murdered by my father, who was extremely abusive, and how I was really struggling with, I should have had my sister in school with me and all of that. And I turned that letter in. I kid you not. I had to have a conversation with CPS. It was a short story. I made it up. It was not even, we weren't even supposed to write about something real. It was just write a story. And
And they didn't think you could be that creative as a kid.
right. I mean, I was in high school, so I wasn't a little kid, but what I told them, no, I made all that up. They couldn't believe it because of the details I put in, because of that emotional connection that they felt to that story, because that emotional pull that they felt with that story. So psychologically speaking, if I give you a story that pulls on your emotions and then tell you at the end that, hey, I made this up, you're not necessarily going to believe that I actually made it up because you already have that emotional connection. Christy, you said right there, she said she was crying because it was emotional, not the truth. Okay, so if you actually listen to the end, what she said actually was, I can't believe I had this person in my life. I can't believe I had this person in my life. Christy, please tell me, ask Gypsy if she's nearby, if you can text her. Please tell me one time that Fancy actually, truly had Gypsy in her life. Writing a letter through JPay doesn't count. That they're not in her life. So them telling that story and doing the stab motions, doing the acting it out that Ryan was doing, all of those things, that tugged on emotions. That got people riled up. That got people thinking, oh my gosh, this is true. This is true. And then to say at the end, very flippantly, very just real quick, shoot it out real quick, that, oh, by the way, this is just my assumption. It's just, just a possibility. Entertainment purposes only, whatever. That's not what sticks. What's going to stick? Right, Christy, she never did. What's going to stick is that emotion. And so that's my, okay, so that's not my biggest problem with that video, but that's my biggest problem with that video. If you're going to put something out there and say that this is your opinion and this is just entertainment purposes, you need to put that up front. Period.
Well, here's the thing. On that video, she had just made a post or whatever it is on TikTok. I'm not on TikTok that much, so I don't know what the different things are called. And because she's had a fallout with a different creator on there, that creator has the phone recording of her telling them that theory, that exact theory. Then Fancy turns around and calls the woman's theories crazy and way outlandish and blah 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 blah, and then they recreate it and call it their own, which is a parroting thing that Fancy does. She's always done it. My issue with it is that we've spent hours. When I tell y'all I gave up my life for years on this project, I am not kidding. We spent
Right.
hours dissecting those things. I have looked at crime scene photos till I am blue in the face. We have talked to professionals. We have had conversations. They had tested those stab wounds. Those stab wounds come from one person, not two. Fancy knows that because we've had the conversation. We have argued that fact all over the place. So now to change it, because it fits a narrative of this conspiracy bullshit. And look, people are into conspiracies. Brittany is one of those that loves conspiracies. I am not a conspiracy person. They drive me crazy. Fancy does do conspiracy. So I get it. But not. Don't disrespect the rest of us that worked our ass off for a project you've never put out. And
Right.
the other thing, don't fucking blame us. If you don't like cussing, I am sorry ahead of time. It's going to come out because I have a potty mouth. Don't fucking disrespect the rest of us that put in so much hard work, blood, sweat, and tears, and throw it all out the window and say, it's Christy and them's fault. I can't do my documentary, and I can't do my book, and I can't this. You should have already done it.
Right. It's been how many
Already
years?
done.
By her own admission, she says it's been 7 years. I don't know. I'd have to go look at like the calendar and everything. I guess it could be because I don't know. My son is 6, and she talked to me when I was still pregnant with him, and when she'd met Christy. So it's probably somewhere around 6.5, 7 years. But
If I remember correctly, I have seen the contracts. I think it was 2017.
okay,
Late 2017, I believe. Chrissy, is that the right date? I think it said 2017. And so,
right. That's plenty of time to write a book, or by Fancy's
Her
own
and Ty were
words,
supposed
she
to
is
have
a
had that book
writer.
done 2 years ago.
Fancy's own words, she's a writer, director, producer, actor. That is plenty of time to write your documentary. That's plenty of time to write your book.
Mm-hmm. And last year, when I had joined her network and was going to do content, she said, "Look, you help with this project. I want your help on the documentary. Yeah, absolutely, I want to be a part of Gypsy's documentary because I still believed in the project that I thought was being put forward." When I started sitting with her and hearing some of her train of thought on it, I wasn't comfortable. And I told her, "Look, let's see." So, I don't have those reports, A Dose of Reality. I wish I did. Maybe we can get them. I will look into it. There's a lot of things I don't have access to anymore and didn't keep.
A lot of those reports and stuff, it just takes a letter, and then you have to pay.
Well, and being that Nick has an appeal coming up, we probably can't get that kind of stuff. And I don't remember how we got it before.
A letter that
I talked to.
It's just a letter you write to Waukesha County. And then you have to either pay them or send them. Either have to pay for or send them a USB drive, and then they send it back, and that's all the stuff for Nick that you can get. Let's see. Sorry, I was reading the note from Christy there.
But I lost my train of thought again.
I know, right? I got distracted. So we can look into getting some of that stuff.
They could have done all this. Her and Ty were doing the book. They had all this time to do this stuff. Quit blaming other people that you have not got your stuff done. Hell, she even blames me and Tori for why she don't have her network up.
Oh my
not
God.
on us. It's not on us, and we're going to get to that in just a second. When I left her the first time, guys, I've left her 3 times. She tells y'all, I've heard it several times, that she let me go. Didn't happen. The first time we were done, we were really done with the drama on Facebook, and we were going to move to YouTube. I didn't understand YouTube at that time. I did not think we were ready for YouTube at that time. And she kept saying, if they're going to get our stuff, they can pay us. Well, I told you how much I understood YouTube. You can't get monetized when you first start a channel. It takes time. And
Sorry, I just read Brian's comment. Jazz, I agree 100% that if the focus had stayed on telling a story and not on how to become rich and famous, then it could have been a good thing. But it switched from telling a good story, telling Gypsy's side, to how can I become rich and famous so I can walk the red carpet and give an Oscar speech. And
which, if you've listened to what she
that,
said, if you've listened to the two things she has said, one, in the very beginning, she said she was perfectly fine with Gypsy getting out and going home and living a normal life, not walking the red carpet. That was the first thing. That was a big thing for me. There was an issue. She's walking a red carpet and you're not. The second thing she said the other night, she is absolutely pissed off and livid that Christy and Katie Joy, and she's trying to blame Katie Joy for this. I know for a fact it isn't, and I have the proof. Christy's given me permission to share it, and I will. That her Banfield, the News Nation on Banfield, got canceled. And she said, when they did that, all gloves were off, or however she put it. So everything she's doing right now is because she's being vindictive. And we have watched her be vindictive for 5 years. I have. 5 years, since 2019.
Right.
When I
it
first
went from telling a story to how can I get revenge.
Right. And that's all it is at this point. Who cares if Gypsy got a dog and named it Pixie? Who gives a flying fuck? I don't care what she names her dog. She could have named
Let her have a dog.
Right. Who cares? Who cares? Did any of us think it was a good idea for Gypsy to get married? No. Her mom and dad didn't even think that. But it's Gypsy's life, and Gypsy's making those choices. All we
and
can
she should
do,
be allowed to.
Right.
Because
she has the right.
So Gypsy's mom and dad didn't like that she got married. Guess what? My mom and dad didn't like my husband, and here we are 20 years later.
Right.
Still
they
married,
supporting her,
and now they don't have a problem with him.
Right.
At all. So just because we don't think she's ready, just because... And now, I'm not talking about Ryan at this point, okay? I know nothing about Ryan. Isn't that his name? Isn't that Gypsy's husband?
Ryan.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm not saying anything about Ryan because I know nothing about that. So this is not a comment about him. It was
more the concern, having a concern for her not knowing real life world.
Right.
And
not knowing who she was yet.
Right.
Because I know with me, when I got married, I lost who I was a little bit. Because now I had to be somebody's wife instead of just the Tory who went and did whatever the heck I wanted. You know,
and when you become a black and white fuzzy. I think it's like a Shih Tzu or something. It's just cute fuzzy. I forgot what she said it was. It's just the cutest little thing. She's so adorable. I want to go cuddle it. But and when she was going to YouTube, and I was trying to discuss with her that I didn't think it was a good idea. I didn't think we were ready. I didn't think shutting down our Facebook group was a good idea. It was disrespectful to our supporters. We had a huge support base. And people were saying that. And Christina, the person who she loves most in this world, even said, look, this is what they're saying, and I think we should think about making it just a secret group, and let's do this. And I put my thing in there about how, and I'm going to show that in a minute, about how I felt about it. And
you got to take a drink so you don't say something.
Jed, you're going to get me in trouble. I'm supposed to behave tonight. I'm supposed to be on my best behavior.
Oh my gosh. What were we talking about again? No.
And leaving the group. And she come back and it was like, we're going to take the weekend and we're not going to talk about it anymore. Let's go do family things for the weekend. We'll discuss this on Monday. And she popped back in there with, I have discussed it with the executives and we agree. Final decision. And I went, fine, I resign. And I quit. Tori called me. Tori was like that afternoon the next day, all right, let's talk a minute. And I just told her, I'm done. I'm not doing this with her when I can't even discuss with her and have an open discussion of what was good for our supporters and a different way of going about it. And she kept shutting me down. And it wasn't, I was gone, a week or two, and she come and talk to me, and I said, I'm not doing it this way. If you're not going to listen to me and have a conversation, I'm done. And we had some agreements, and I came back, and that lasted a couple months before World War III happened. The only time that I will even give her credit for possibly letting me go would have been this fight, except that I think it was more of a combative, both of us quit at the same time. And it was a battle. And Tori, I don't know, I think Tori was very silent at that time because I think you had just had Roman. Mm-hmm. And you were dealing with the baby, and you had gotten very sick right after Roman, and
he was really sick. Like, we were in therapy 5 days a week with him at 5 different therapies with Failure to Thrive. And so I stepped way back, and I was like, look, I need my kid to survive. So my work here is not, like, I can't do this. So yeah, I was way back at that point.
Well, we were trying to do things on YouTube, and we were having a hard time. I had horrible internet. We were out in West Texas, and I had moved further out and literally couldn't figure out the internet. I had gone to HughesNet, which was, don't do it. Just don't do it. It was awful. And we were having some battles on when to do what show. And I was really pushing to do Rodney Reed, and Rodney Reed was coming up. He had a date on the books for being put to death, and it's a case I believe is a wrongful conviction, and I was really wanting to do it. She said, oh, absolutely, let's do it. Well, then we had all these others we were wanting to do, and so she made the schedule up, and I said, well, what about Rodney Reed? Well, we'll do him here. Well, it was in December. His thing was in November, so he might not even be here in December, I think was the dates. I could have the time frame off on that. And so I just thought, well, okay, I mean, what do I do? I'd already told her. So then it dawned on her a couple weeks later, and I was already working on whatever the show was we were doing. And she's like, oh, we need to do Rodney Reed. And I said, well, I thought we were doing this one. Well, if we wait, he could already be dead. We need to do it now. And I'm like, well, I tried to tell you that. Well, you need to tell me harder. So anytime you tried to tell her something, am I right or wrong, Tori? If you went to her and tried to argue that you needed something done sooner, she would argue why you didn't.
Until it became her idea. And then it was, well, we need, yeah.
So we were having that argument, and she had gotten the intro to the podcast done, and she sent it in, and I was mad. It made me angry because it was her show at that point. It was, and we had already discussed a different way of doing it and having everybody do these other little tidbits to it, and it being this really cute intro, and it was all fancy and all about her, and it wasn't even Gypsy at this point. It was a fancy show. And I was angry. I was angry. Absolutely. Were my messages nice? Absolutely not. I can't get into that chat because she has archived it and I can't find it. Mainly because we had 500 chats. Or I would play all of the voice messages. She's probably going to play them because I'm talking about it because she likes to talk about how horrible I am. I'm loud on a good day. You get me mad, it's even worse. For one thing, I'm deaf in one ear, so I just get loud. I absolutely was hollering at her that day. When she says I went all day long, there was a space in that where she's leaving message after message after message. I'm running errands. I am not dealing with any of it. And I told her, I have to go run errands. I'll deal with this later. So when I come back, I'm listening to a voice message. I would respond to it. I'd listen to the next one. I'd respond. I'd read what was written. I'd respond. Just trying to go through each thing. She says, I said we were done with this conversation. I'm like, well, I wasn't because I didn't even want to hear for half of it. And the fight was on again.
And then it was how you don't let things go. You just keep bringing back.
Sister Knives will help me through finding cats. I might need that help, Sister Knives, because I struggle with finding them. And we had this huge fight. It was ugly, guys. It was ugly. I said things that weren't nice. She said things that weren't nice. We weren't nice to each other that day. We were very angry. We calmed down. We tried to put it behind us. We tried to move forward. Couple weeks rocked along. I'm trying to get everything together. My internet sucks. So
And you just had knee surgery too, or you were just
not
about to,
then.
right?
We were in Odessa. We had just
Okay.
we were living out in Odessa. The knee surgery happened when we were trying to do Chris Watts and the wine and crime
Okay.
situation.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
and so here we are
I don't know.
out
There's
there.
so many situations. It's hard to keep track.
There's a lot. Well, here we're trying to record. So like if we're doing this, like we're on. I think we did Zoom back then, and we're trying to record. If I needed to pull something up that I was trying to remember, I couldn't get it at the same time that I would be live. I'd say, okay, hold on a minute, and I would have to leave out, close all that down, open that back up. It was a nightmare, and I couldn't. If I did my phone, then that would stop. It was horrible. My internet sucked until I finally found the right internet. Well, I was tired. I was stressing. I had sent her and Christina everything. She said, we need what you have on the case. I sent them everything. We always said when we're covering a case, we found our own information. We did our own work. Evidently, that didn't apply to her and Christina because they wanted me to do all the work and give it to them. Well, that isn't what's going to happen. I sent you what I have. Read it. We're going to talk about it. That's how I looked at it. And I had two things backwards. I had the time of day she was found, and I think where the truck was found, or it might be where it might have had it. I think I had everything reversed. And Christina questioned me about it. And I was like, was it? No, it was this. And she's like, no. And I went, hold on, let me look. And so I'm trying to figure it out. And she was right. I had it backwards. It was a simple fix. All we had to go back is redo that. And it wasn't like it was like this big thing I'm lying. I just had things flipped around. And that was when I learned, make sure I take my notes and have them written down so that I can stay, because I get all over the place. And as I got off to go find it, when I come back, they were still running their mouth, and I caught part of the conversation, so I'm a little bit pissed when I come in. And Christina left, and I'm trying to record with Fancy, and she's the whole time, and I'm like, this is fixing to get ugly. And sure enough, it did. And as we're screaming at each other, I'm pretty sure I don't know what she said. I know I said, do you just want me fucking gone? And she's like, I think I do. I was like, fine, I'm gone. And she's like, good, goodbye. And it was bad. It was absolutely bad. I think at that point she went into Burn Book. Those of you ladies in here that were on Facebook, you remember Burn Book, called me a cunt, said all these things about me. And I'm like, thought we were being nice to each other. Okay. I can play. And it was just on. It was months that it went on. When the pandemic hit, we were in side chat. We had so many side chats because we had the mod apocalypse, and Tasha Cooper had a mod apocalypse happen. And so we were all in chats trying to figure out what was going on and getting dirt, and it was fun gossip, guys. Stressful gossip. And there were a few people that were egging her on and gearing her up about things. And they thought it was funny. And I thought, okay, that's not... Because at the time, even though I was angry, or had been angry, I missed my friend.
Right.
I missed who
because
I thought...
there was that connection. There was a friendship there.
Right. And so it was... I was missing my friend, but I also didn't like them stirring my friend like that, because I knew... when people do that to her, she would have meltdowns and she would start being manic, and there were things that would go on, and it concerned me. And so I messaged her. She tells people I drunk dialed her. Did not happen. I text her. Now, was I drinking wine when she called me? Because I had to unblock her phone number. She's like, I tried. It went to voice. I thought, wait, you're blocked. And I unblocked her. And then we had this whole conversation, and I was drinking wine while we were having conversation. Was I having a little buzz afterwards? Yep. I wasn't drunk. Her lines are mostly Christy bashing. That's when I started to wonder if she was insane. I'm not going to discuss her mental health.
Right. We're not going to discuss anybody's mental health, good or bad.
I'm going to tell you I'm concerned. I am concerned. But karma's a bitch. I'm going to leave it at that. At that time, I was extremely concerned. And I reached out and said, look, I think they're gearing you up. Please be careful, And we began talking. Just a little here and there. And I was doing my own thing. I had my podcast. Dawn, Witch Bitch, was my co-host, and we were doing our thing. And um, life had gone on. I wasn't a part of the team. Didn't want to be a part of the team. And then she fired Colleen.
Yep. For those
And
of you that
so,
are following her, when she tells you Colleen has been there from the beginning,
and I'm gonna let you talk
not
about that
quite
because
true.
you were a business partner at that time, and that is yours. And we
So,
have proof of this.
yes. So Colleen was actually fired. Crap, I don't know. Do you remember the dates? I sent those to you. They're in the screenshots.
I'll look at
Um,
the date.
it was probably 2020, 2021, something like that. So Colleen, we were doing a bunch of podcasts. Now it's kind of crazy here. I don't always have the quietest time, so I wasn't on a lot of the podcasts, or we'd record them early
My
um,
wall.
so that I could try to be on them. But as I was doing some of the research on it and listening in, um, I started to recognize the words that I was hearing in these podcasts that they had already recorded and put up on their network, on their, what is it, YouTube? I guess they had them.
Yeah, these were in August of 2020.
Okay, so it was 2020. I was like, this sounds so familiar. And it was the words that Colleen and Fancy were saying. Now, on the way Fancy did her podcast, I don't know if she still does it that way. I don't know. I don't care. But she would literally write a script, word for word, that we were supposed to read, word for word. And then there would be a space for pause for comments, and we discuss back and forth. Then we jump right back to the written script of the podcast.
I hated
So
it.
I couldn't do that. It drove me nuts. So as they were reading them, because back then I used to deliver newspapers, so I would be in my car all alone from like 2 in the morning to like 7 in the morning. So I would listen to different podcasts, different um, crime stories. I would listen to Netflix. I would put my phone down so I wouldn't be tempted to watch it, and I would play like the Chris Watts, or yeah, Chris Watts, the episodes and stuff that were on Netflix or Hulu or whatever, and listen and just kind of learn the details. So as I'm going back
That
and
one,
listening,
that case, that was Scott Peterson.
right? No, it was multiple. There were multiple, but so I would listen to the different things so that I would understand the cases a little bit better. And as I'm listening to the ones that Fancy and Colleen had already recorded, I was like, this is just, it's too familiar. And so I started going back, and I would play on one hand what Colleen and Fancy were saying, and then I would play another podcast, or I would pull up an article, and it was word for word. It was plagiarized, not just close. It was word for word. Um, we did the Scott Peterson. The one time so far that I've been aware that Fancy allows an opposite opinion of hers to actually stand. Um, she believes that Scott Peterson is 100% guilty. And Colleen, at that time, I don't know her beliefs now, but at that time, she believed that there was a cause for reasonable doubt. Not that he was necessarily innocent, but that
Colleen and I'm not a Colleen fan. We had the same belief. I'm still that way. I still believe there was cause for reasonable doubt. But
there was cause for reasonable doubt. Doesn't mean he was innocent, but there was cause for reasonable doubt. So Fancy did a head-to-head. We'll each present our side and see if one of us believes the other by the end. And Christina and I were the kind of the moderators. We'd ask questions to understand better so that all the listeners could really understand both sides. So as we're doing that, I'm noticing once again, some of these things are word for word to something I just read the day before. So I private messaged Colleen or Fancy and Christina. I was like, hey guys, I think we have a problem. I have gone back, and there's multiple plagiarized episodes that are up on YouTube. This is not good. It's going to take one person hearing that to destroy everything we've worked for. So we had to have a big conversation, the three of us, and then we went to Colleen, who denied it at first. She's like, no, I reworded in my own words. And we were like, look, printed side by side, word for word. Well, I was really busy. And so I figured I'd change it later and I forgot. It was as simple as citing where you got it. Colleen, I don't know what, again, I can't speak for now, but at the time, Colleen was a teacher, a nursing teacher. Of all things, a teacher should know how bad plagiarism is. And she actively chose to plagiarize. At that point, we, Christina, Fancy, and I decided that it was in our best interest as a company to release Colleen, because not only would she not own up to it, but when she finally did own up to it, all she did was make excuses. She never even apologized for doing it. It was well, I was just busy and I told you guys I felt
Yeah.
underappreciated and overworked, or, something along those lines. And that was her reasoning. So she was let go. She was fired for very legitimate reasons. I don't know why she was brought back. I think that was because you left again, maybe, Brandy. She eventually was brought back, and I was not happy about it because she literally jeopardized everything that we had worked for by plagiarizing,
Well,
not just once, not just twice, but multiple things.
if
Multiple.
one person on the team is plagiarizing, you're all guilty by association.
Exactly. Exactly. So, no, she hasn't been there from the beginning. And I have to say now, for those of you that are believing everything they're saying, are you sure you want to believe it? Because obviously they have no problem being truthful or not truthful or
Untruthful.
whatever.
Untruthful.
Untruthful. Thank you. I was like, truthful. That's not right. What am I trying to say? So before you believe everything that they say and put out there, please do your own research. Please do your own research.
Just put your thinking caps on and just think. Just listen. Just there's half truths to a lot of it, so that it's really hard to catch the actual lie in the truth.
Right.
And that was when her and I were talking. We were still friends at this point. I'm doing my thing. She's doing hers. We moved from West Texas to Southeast Texas, and I was trying to get the move over, and I was having knee issues, and there was just a lot. And she needed help, and she said, "I don't have anybody that can hold their own on there. Can you come help?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I can. I can come in and help some." And that was when Stella had joined, and I love Stella. Stella and I have been friends since. Um, Ty was there. You were there.
Mm-hmm.
Emily was doing some of the podcasting with us. Emily is her daughter. And that was it, wasn't it?
I think so.
As far as doing the true crime, Sarah has always been a part of it for the
Sarah
fictional side.
Sarah was there in name only because she had no interest in true crime. She had no interest in podcasts.
I think it was fictional, right?
She wanted to
Non-fiction.
write fantasy. She
Fiction.
wanted to write
Fantasy. That's, yeah.
fantasy, like dwarves, elves kind of stories. And she wanted those produced into movies. And so that was her role as one of the owners. Fancy made her one of the owners because it's her daughter.
Right.
But she wasn't involved in anything true crime, not in any of our conversations, not in any decisions, none of that.
Oh, Sister Nuns, there's a whole story with some of that. I don't guess you've ever heard any of that. Steph's dropping tidbits about the Natasha stuff. She's like, wait, that's against Facebook rules. But yes, and so we were doing YouTube again, and I think her and I were doing Friday Night Lives, and then she wanted me to help join on the podcast. And Stella had her little show she was doing, Lipstick, Lashes, and Lies. And so we were just kind of going along. Things were going good. I didn't have any issues. I struggled with the chaos because Fancy does, and she says this herself, she is chaotic. Everything we did was chaotic. And she would say, we were going to do Richard Ramirez because the movie had come out. And I'm like, oh, let's do it. So we're going to do Richard Ramirez. I studied all week for Richard Ramirez. I had bukus of information. Thursday or Friday comes around and she's like, oh, we're going to do da-da-da-da-da. Totally changed it on me. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I wanted to scream. Okay. So I go research and I cram stuff in my brain before we go live on YouTube, and we, did our thing. Things like that would drive me crazy. It was, and it happened all the time. And it was very stressed because I am funny this way, and Tori knows this. I do this now. I have to have a plan. I have to know what we're doing, and we have to stay on that plan. If we change that plan, Brandy's getting a twitch. Brandy
A
doesn't
little
handle
bit,
the change,
a little bit.
and I get snippy. I'm like, no, we said that. No, I try. I understand sometimes things change, but I don't like if we have a plan, and I'm especially if I'm working my ass off on it. And then you come back and change it. I'm not a happy camper. Um, Fancy chaos, that's an understatement. Y'all have no idea. Um, and we decided at that point, it was decided she had talked to, I'm assuming, Tori and Christina, and that's who else was there, was Christina, um, about us buying in and forming a business partnership. And there was a certain amount of buy-in, and I'm not going to
Right,
discuss the financial
right.
part of that.
There were
Unless
three
you,
of you that had to buy your part in.
right. Yeah, it was me, Stella, and Ty had to buy our part in. Y'all were already there.
Grandfathered in,
Um,
so to speak.
you're right. And Stella paid all of hers. I think Ty paid part of hers, and I paid part of mine. Ty did finish paying hers off later on. Um, and we kind of rolled. I had surgery in March, and we're working on Chris Watts. Well, Tori and I were taking over a specific part because we did not like the direction Fancy was trying to go, and we were kind of is strong arm the right word for that? We were like, no, she ain't doing this. We're doing it this way. We were trying to keep some control and keep it to where it was. I just didn't like the conspiracy thing she was doing. Anyways, so we were struggling there, and then we had this crime and wine event,
Oh my
and we were
gosh.
doing. This was a nightmare, guys. That we were doing. We were asked to do this with Cheryl McCollum, who is a investigative detective in Atlanta. She is big time in true crime. She is buddies with Nancy Grace. I mean, she's in. And she had come to us or come to Fancy and like, girls, she loved us. We've done several interviews with her. She is amazing. And she wanted to do this event, and it was going to get us out there. Well, I remember Natasha saying she was going to make Fancy mad and say she was collecting funds to go to Louisiana, but then she really started collecting money for it. That's where the funds went. Oh, they're talking about the funds. Oh, Natasha did all kinds of funds. She still does those. She's good at it. I have to give her that, guys. She's good at it.
I mean,
Um,
people keep giving her money.
right. I mean,
So
they just keep giving it. It's like, okay. Um, and and so this event was really cool. We were going to do Crime Door was going to be there, so we were creating these virtual doors. You would click on the app so you could go in and experience the crime scene.
you could walk through the crime scene. I mean, it was
Right, it
really
was
a
a neat
cool
thing.
interactive thing.
And we were going to have one for Gypsy, and it was going to be this really cool thing. And one of the producers was a producer of Big Brother, or an original producer of Big Brother, and so we were really getting in the door with some really cool people.
Hmm.
And it was the opportunity we were trying to make happen
Right.
for the project.
So then Cheryl introduced us to this guy that would create a wine for you. Like
Well,
a
he
lot
had
the
the wines. It
label.
was a
He
wine
had his
label he
wines,
would
but he would
create.
create the label specifically for you. For your show or for your event or whatever. And Cheryl introduced us to him so that we could work with him on some labels for this wine and crime. Well, that kind of got out of hand very quickly on the one and only conversation we all had with this wine guy.
We were all on it. Every one of us were on there, and he
Hmm.
offers us this
He
opportunity for
sent us
our
each a
own.
bottle of wine so that we could be tasting it while we were
So
talking to
good too.
him.
Oh my
It
god, that wine was
was.
good.
And
So
I'm not even
good.
a wine. Well, I am now. I
I
have
think you got
three.
a sweet one.
Brandy,
Yeah, I'm
you'd be
getting
proud
it.
of me. I have 3 bottles of wine in my fridge right now.
Are
3.
they sweet wines or regular wine? Like, are you drinking big girl juice or little girl juice?
Have you met me? No. So one of them is a sweet red
Okay.
from 1922 House.
I love my 1922 house guy.
Yes. Talked to him the other day. He's looking forward to making your wine.
I know he is making me my own wine with my own label for Redneck Wine Diva. I'm so excited.
One of them's a really sweet one with like red berries and caramel. Haven't tried that one yet. Want to. And the other one is a dry white wine.
Okay. I'm proud of you on that
See?
one. I'm
See?
proud. I'm very proud.
Now I may or may not have bought it along with a ingredient to add to make it into a peach flavored slushy.
See, those slushies we had from the first vineyard, oh my
Yes.
God. I made them up, and my friend here, my bestie here that goes to the wineries with me, we were drinking, poured us a glass of it, and she's like, that shit's strong. And I was like, right?
Right, yes.
We
got
had
some
some
good wineries here.
They
We've got
do.
some
Kentucky,
really
I'm
good
amazed
wineries.
with the wineries. Many people in the industry told me that after they talked to F-Bag, she calls her F-Bag, cracks me up,
I know.
that they didn't want to work with her because she was unprofessional. She gets very pushy, and that's what happened here. We get off the phone with this interview, and I'm like, Fancy, we really need to talk to Cheryl. We need to why don't we do this after the event? Tori was telling her the same. We were really concerned. We wanted to do this event because this event was going to get us out there and we were going to get Gypsy's story told, and it was just going to be amazing. And
right.
If you have a YouTube channel or a crime writer, Brian and Fancy will block
basically what happened is she took this connection and went around Cheryl and said, what if we do our own crime thing and we'll talk to Crime Door and do our own crime thing and you make us the wine and we won't be involved with Cheryl. Obviously, this pissed Cheryl off. Like, understandably so. But all Fancy could see was, why are you mad? I'd get an opportunity for myself. Instead of completing her obligation to Cheryl first.
and
she
then doing
literally,
another one.
Right. She literally just commandeered the whole thing and took it. And then it never even happened because we didn't have the following for it. We didn't have the connections for it. So it flopped. But if we'd done it with Cheryl to begin with, the way it was supposed to be done, and then gone back afterward and said, hey, that was a great time. We'd like to do our own now. It could have gone somewhere.
And then giving ourselves the 6 months to plan and really work, it would have been great. And what she did in this time is alienated some of the best in the true crime industry.
Right.
If you're an expert on a case, y'all, she needs to stop. She's a self-proclaimed expert because it's in her fucking head. If you're an expert on a case, you're not blocked by some of the some of the best in the industry.
Right.
All of those people we worked with, all of those people we've interviewed over the years have blocked her. That will tell you something's not okay. Cheryl was pissed. She was livid.
Oh, yeah.
Cheryl was in the process of working to get us in contact with Nancy Grace to do something with Nancy Grace.
Right.
That went out the window.
No.
When you do something with Nancy Grace, you're in.
Right. And that was destroyed because immediately Fancy saw another way to make money. Let's make money. Let's do our own thing. We don't have to split the cost. We can have our own wines that we can sell. We don't have to split the cost with anybody. Let's do this instead of doing it the right way, step by step.
I'm just going to say I love Dawn Brown. Her and I had some fun conversations. I don't know if you remember Dawn Brown.
I don't.
She was kind of involved with a lot of the different groups and cases and stuff. She was cool. I liked her. But yeah, it was a disaster. Now, in this time, I've had surgery, and I'm having a really hard time from my surgery. I had been in severe pain for 6 months. And afterwards, I had a weird reaction to the surgery, and so I was dealing with... Well, at that time, I had not. I was just trying to heal. It had been a couple days. Tori has gone on vacation. She's up in the mountains in, I think, Virginia. No cell phone service.
Right,
Fancy
no internet, no cell phone. I couldn't answer anybody. I didn't even know I was getting messages till I got down off the mountain Sunday afternoon, and my phone... Like, I know when I hit service because my phone just ding, 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 like, over. And I was like... Holy crap, what did I miss?
Well, Christina had not been in on the other conversation, so she didn't call Christina. She didn't call Stella and Ty because she didn't think they would understand things. I think is how she was looking at it. I don't know. So she calls me. Mind you, we've all said Brady's had surgery. We're leaving her alone for the week.
Right, you literally needed to heal. Like,
I
you
was
were on pain
struggling.
meds. You were.
Oh, for that surgery, those first two surgeries, I was on pain meds forever. This last surgery, I hadn't had any pain meds. It was amazing. Um, and so she calls me and she is freaking out. And I'm going, okay, hold on. We need to talk to Cheryl. I'm trying to talk her off the ledge of not going. And in the middle of me saying, don't go to Cheryl. Let's do this. She's going to Cheryl. And it was, things blew up. Things went crazy. So in all of that, losing the best opportunity we were going to have to get us going, we're trying to record and things are going crazy. And I am having, they called it, I'm trying to remember what they called it now. It was post-surgical depression, something like that. I did not handle the surgery. Brandy, she's back. She had some major health issues. She'll appear when the time is right. Oh, tell her to hook me up or come get me because I miss her. Come see me. She messaged me. I don't know if I still have her number or not. Tell her my number has not changed. Call me. I was struggling. I was having a really hard time, and I was, my husband was getting pissed because my phone wouldn't stop. I couldn't rest. I was trying to get the work done, and I couldn't get the work done because I was just, the chaos was hitting me. And I called Tori, and I said, Tori, I'm having a hard time. I don't think I can stay. I talked to you for what, about a week?
Probably.
You know, yeah. I don't know what to do. And we were supposed to be in the process of registering the business and getting a bank account. That's what the money that had been paid was supposed to be due. And Tori wanted me on the bank account. And it was like, well, I just don't know, Tori, I don't know if I'm going to stay. I don't know if I can do this. I cannot handle this much longer. I don't know what to do. And I talked to my husband and I was talking to my doctor and they're all like, look, Dawn, no, that is not Swamp Donkey. This is the good Dawn. This is the one that evidently sent Jax to be a spy in Natasha's and it backfired, I think is the story. I don't know if that story is true, guys. Those that have no idea who we're talking about are like, what? And I finally made the decision because it was just the chaos was crazy. The chaos was nuts. God, Lena, you're good friends with Cheryl McCollum? Oh, I love her. Absolutely love her. She walks on water. I love her. Oh yeah, she'd go live. Yeah, sitting on the porch. And so I wrote up a resignation letter. I did it in the chat and just said, guys, I love y'all. I don't think I can do this. This is too much for me. I cannot handle this anymore. And I didn't want it to build up and explode like it had every other time. I was really trying to be an adult and walk away. That's all I wanted to do was just peace and keep my friends and wish everybody the best and just go on. And Fancy lost her shit.
That's because she doesn't like people to walk away. She likes to be able to let them go. It's a control thing, I think. My opinion.
Right. And the messages got ugly. They got ugly. And that was in 2021. And I walked away. And had Christina not passed away, I never would have messaged her and reached out to her. And God rest her soul. Christina passed away very unexpectedly. And it's
about a year ago.
Yes. Right at a year ago. And, you know, I feel for her family and I pray for them and that they have peace and my heart goes out to them. And I reached out to Fancy. I unblocked her and was like, look, this, and I don't know, some of y'all may remember I did a tribute video and I come on here and talked about it and I felt like holding grudges, this really was a start for me. Holding grudges isn't any good. There's no sense in holding grudges. Move on.
Right.
And Fancy and I began talking and she wanted me to join her network. And I'm like, I'm not joining the team. I'll put content on. That sounds kind of cool. So I signed up to put content on. And then that's where Tori, and not only because Tori was there, because Tori's, and that's where you pick up again, Tori. Because this is where we're getting into the nitty gritty about the business. She's eating
Hold on
cough
a
drops,
second.
guys, because she is fighting the flu.
And the more I talk, like I was sick a month ago, and I'm sure like that new something that's going around, virus, whatever. So I have that lingering cough. The more I'm talking, the more I'm coughing. So I brought a huge handful of cough drops up. I have 4 left. This is
Oh,
gonna get fun.
no.
This is gonna get fun. So, when Christina passed away, Fancy and I were still talking. I was her sounding board. I told her I don't want to be back in with your company because a year before that, so I launched a company of my own. It's a soap business. I hand make soaps, CBD oil in them. And I was really focusing on that. I was trying to just really build that so I could sell and have an income for my family, to help, just with extra fun things, vacation, whatever that. And I'm a firm believer in all the things CBD oil and how amazing they are for your body. And in this area, it's hard to find stuff, the natural things that have it. So I was like,
And
okay,
she
I'm going to
does
create a
sell
story.
and ship, so if you need anything,
If
let
you
me
need
know and I'll
anything,
hook
we
you up with
can,
her.
yeah, just reach out to Brandy. She can get you
Do
the
you still have the
link.
website?
I do. Unfortunately, the website's not completely up to date because I have been swamped the past 8 months with the network.
This network,
Um,
y'all.
it, but yes, it's still there. Everything's on there. It's not just soaps. I'm gonna do a real quick plug just because otherwise it
Yeah.
won't go out of my head. It's soaps, shaving creams, beard oil, shampoo, lip balm, pain cream, tattoo balm. Love it on my tattoos. You can't really see them, but tattoo balm, bunch of other stuff. It's all natural, has CBD oil in it. Anyway, so bath bombs. I was really focusing on that, trying to build my company. And of course, that meant less time. Um, oh, honey, Jazz, I won't use
What's the
anything but my
website?
stuff.
What's
It's
the website?
McQuaintly Yours, McQuaintlyyours.com. I won't use anything but my stuff at this point, like at all. So, of course, I was focusing on making bath bombs and things like that. And Fancy was getting really frustrated, understandably, if I was supposed to be helping with her. But I did say I needed to focus on this company. So, the end of the year, a couple years ago, she had wanted some bath bombs that I would make, specifically blood bath bombs, where they were black, but then they had like an embed that had bright blood colored inside, so that if your bath water turned a bloody color. I said I would do that for her, but not at the end of the year. I needed to wait. I had to do end of the year inventory. If anybody has their own business and you know how crazy that is, just in my aromas alone, there's over 200 aromas. I had to measure out and all of that and weigh out. So it took me a little bit. Well, she got mad and she's like, you obviously, this business obviously isn't important to you. So I don't think we should be partners. And I was like, okay, that's fine. So I was not involved. I was still her sounding board for things, but I wasn't involved. So a year later, you're getting overrun. So a year later, unfortunately, Christina passed away. And she called me and she said, I really need you back in. I can't do this without you. Colleen, understandably, is very upset and not focusing.
And
She
Colleen was
was
dealing with 2 babies and
right. And understandably, they had all been friends
absolutely.
for several years. I'm sure they talked daily.
No,
It is
no.
very understandable that they were all devastated by Christina's passing. Okay. Understandably, I in no way am trying to minimize that. But she asked me to come back as a partner. I said, you know what? We didn't work well together as a partner. We said this a year ago, but I know you need the help. So I will come back temporarily with a 6-month or so contract that at any time we both can walk away, no questions asked, if this just doesn't work.
Real quick.
Yes. None of it was written. Nothing was signed. It was just a verbal.
Let's, because I want to go here because this is going to fit into some stuff.
Okay.
Let's talk about going to New York for the funeral.
Okay. So obviously she was very upset with
Brian, we were blocked before any of that. She blocked us as soon as she made her TikTok. Well, no, a while back we had to report something. Yes, we reported it, and she blocked us. And so then the other day she saw me and my other account in somebody's chat, and she blocked me. She don't want me coming in her chat to say anything. She's welcome here. She's not blocked here. Sorry, go ahead.
right. So when Christina passed, Fancy had no money, and but she really wanted to go to the funeral. I told her that I would go. I would drive in my car. I would pay for the gas up there. I would pay for the hotel. But she had to, at a minimum, she had to pay me back for half of it. And she agreed. She said, okay, I appreciate it. Thank you for taking me to New York so that I could be there, pay my respects. So we get down the road. I book a hotel. I put it on my credit card. Um, I'm going to pay for the gas. We're driving my car. We get on the road. We get down the road a little bit. And she's like, I'm hungry. Can we stop? So we pull over at a Burger King. Now, I
She
don't
doesn't eat
eat.
meat, guys. She is the hardest person in the world to feed.
No. Hold, sorry, my son brought up a Sprite so I can drink something. Because I didn't even bring a drink in here with me. Kai, please.
There's drinks in there.
Oh, whoops. So I'm in, like I said, I'm in my daughter's room. I forgot. I'm sitting next to a refrigerator that she has in here, a little mini one. There's probably drinks in there. Yeah, there are. My bad. Here, I want the Sprite anyway, Kai. Those are waters. So, whoops. So we get down the road. I will not eat at Burger King. Their fries are gross. I'll eat fries at a fast food place. I'll eat the grilled cheese at Starbucks, but I'm not a big fast food person. So we pull into Burger King and she's like, I need money. I'm like, what? I didn't even bring money for food. I need money. So she's going on this trip for 2 or 3 days and she didn't even bring $50 to pay for food. She's like, well, can we just add it to what I owe you? I'm like, okay, fine. We're already on the road. What am I going to say? I've already booked the hotel. Christina's family's already expecting us. So I'm like, okay, fine. So, so we get up there, we come back and I know money's tight for her. So I'm not like saying, pay me back right now, but we talked about it. I'm like, the longer we have to pay this, the longer it takes to pay it.
Think about this. They went from Kentucky to New York and back, and Tori paid for. And y'all were gone for 2 days.
We left on. Let's see. We left on a Thursday, I believe. The funeral was on Friday, and then we were supposed to come home Saturday, but we ended up staying an extra night because she got sick overnight. So, or maybe it was Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So there was at least 2 nights, at least 3 nights in the hotel. We should have only had 2, I think. No, it was 2 nights. It was 2 nights. Okay. It was 2 nights. But she was supposed to, I assume she would at least pay for her own food because
So
that was 3 days that we were gone.
Food that you're having to pay for.
With like a 9 or 10 hour drive. Right, Nat B? Right? How do you go away without any money?
Or saying ahead of time, hey, we didn't make the money we needed for me to do this trip. Can I borrow that money from you?
Right. Mention it to me before we get down the road, not when we're a couple hours down the road already.
Right.
So we come back. I know money's kind of tight, whatever. But I'm like, I need you to pay me like $5, $10, something a month. Like it doesn't even have to be a lot, but understand that we're going to be adding like those interest charges. I'm adding that to what you owe me too. So no, she didn't take a single dime, nothing.
And refuses to pay.
So then here we are, and this was in the beginning of February. So then here we are in, I think, beginning of May. And I message her because we're already having some other issues. At that point, she has taken a nonprofit that was somebody else's idea, realized that she can make herself the president, and you can pay your president.
Her words, to me and Terry both, she told us on the phone, I can actually make an income if I'm a president of a nonprofit.
Uh-huh. And so this nonprofit was somebody else's idea for intimate partner violence awareness. Think like the Gabby Petito situation, where if the law enforcement had, if there's a situation and it becomes a regulation that, hey, there has to be a separation, she might have survived. Instead of, okay, we'll leave you here with them, and then she was gone. I know, right? So, um, so she gets mad that the person who's wanting to do it is taking her
I know.
time to file the paperwork
I can't help it. I
because
have to
she wants
highlight
to
it.
line everything up. Like the person that wanted to write, okay, yes, the side of the road. Hindsight, I'm telling you, hindsight. So,
Now, in this time of this happening, I am on the network. I am planning. We're having a gala. We're supposed to be this big
oh, I
fancy
haven't even
gala at
gotten to the
this.
gala yet. I haven't even gotten to the
Having
gala.
that hadn't started at that
No,
time.
nope, not there
Oh,
yet.
okay. Okay, never
Not
mind.
there yet.
Erase that I
So
said that part. We'll get there in a minute.
this person they were trying to line everything up the
Yes,
correct
Christy.
way for their nonprofit. They were trying to get professionals together who could do trainings. They were trying to write training handbooks. They were trying to research professionals to have on the board. They were trying to find sponsors so that once they had the board set up, they could have sponsors to hit the ground running. They were trying to line everything up, which takes time. Fancy got irritated with it, and she went and she said, well, and posted this in a group chat. She's like, well, I've already filed the paperwork and everything, so we're moving forward because I can't keep waiting on you. So this person was like, what do you mean you filed that paperwork? What right do you have to file that paperwork? And she did say that you can show those screenshots. She doesn't care.
Okay.
But then Fancy basically said, okay, well, if you don't agree with me, I guess you don't have one. You don't have a nonprofit. She removed her from the group chat. She went to the paperwork and paused the filing so she could change the name, and then continued on with a nonprofit that was somebody else's. So when you see her talking about Scope, Stop the Cycle of Abuse program, that's
She
not
stole
hers.
that.
She's
She
not the
stole
founder.
that.
She stole that nonprofit from somebody else, and I've got the written proof.
Sister
So
Knives, she blocks anybody that differs from her. She cannot have somebody come in there and just say, I don't agree with you. She can't have
right.
it. She has to have an echo
Sorry.
chamber.
So once she takes it over, she decides she's going to do this gala because, if you have a gala, you can make lots of money from the ticket sales and donations and raffles and all of that. So she plans a gala. So in the town that I live in, RJ Corman is a pretty well-known railroad company. They are actually founded right here in the town that I live in. The Cormans were our sheriff recently. This is the founding place for RJ Corman, the railroad company. And they have this beautiful glass hangar, this indoor hangar, glass windows all around, beautiful floor. Well, here's the thing. If you're a nonprofit and you're holding a fundraising event, they will let you host it there for free. For free. The venue would be 100% free.
So in this time, part of Tori's job was to help organize this gala. And
right.
that's what Tori was helping with. And every idea she gave her, she said, I don't like that. I'm doing
every
this.
one of them. I offered there's a golf course. It's beautiful around here. They do the PGA golf tour. One of the stops is here. Shadow, I'm telling you, go on with your barking. Thank you. So there's a golf course near here. It's beautiful, beautiful. I called them. I talked to them. It's $7,500 that you don't pay them until after you've done the golf scramble. And the golf scramble, if you fill every one of their golf carts, you bring in $15K just on the golf carts, just on the teams. So, right, I know, free, amazing. But this place, and not only was it only $7,500 with almost a guarantee of bringing in $15K, I already had a corporate sponsor who said, let me know. I will be your first sponsor. And I have a handful of other people that will add on as a sponsor once I tell them I am. But he also had a minimum of 5 teams ready to go if we did the golf scramble. That's a no-brainer right there. Right? You'd think. Mm-hmm. Already got a corporate sponsor with several more lined up right behind him. Already have more than 10% of the number of teams that you need at least to bring in the 15K. And that's before we even set it up. She decided, no. She was going to go with a hotel in town that had, it was a free rental of the room with a minimum $15,000 food purchase.
And let me tell you what,
That place is not as
it
beautiful
was
as
a
she
pretty
wanted to.
place. Like the banquet area and the restaurant area and the outside, it was very historic looking. It was very pretty. The rooms freaking sucked. I could have gone to the Roach Motel down the road and had a better room.
Right?
The
So,
rooms were tiny and miserable for what I paid for my damn room. No, quit.
right. The rooms are not amazing. The gala, the banquet hall, because my husband's job has a employee banquet every year. It was in the same place. Right, Brian? You let people know you can't even afford your own food. You talk to me first. I wouldn't have been mad about it if she just said something first. But anyway, I digress. So she's on the hook now for 15,000 for this place. At this point, I'm at the point where I'm not doing anything for it. I have suggested a casino
You had a
night.
caterer, you had the golf course, you had the free facility.
Yes.
All
I
of
had a
these things
caterer who
people
was
were
going to do it for
donating.
cost of food only and recognition. I had an event coordinator who was stepping up at no cost
Oh, Crime Talk
for
News, it gets even
free.
better.
For free. An event coordinator who has run many fundraising events, and they volunteered because they believed in me to do it for free. For free. Wasn't good enough. She wanted to drop like 5K or
No.
7K on an event coordinator. She wanted to drop 15K on this venue.
And then the event coordinator wasn't working right, and she couldn't really pay him anymore. So he
So she
quit.
blocked him.
Right.
Yeah.
So she blocked him because he's like, I need my money. So she blocks him. I'm not using him. He, whatever. I don't remember exactly what she wrote, but yeah.
Right.
And in
So
this time, I have gone to her and I'm like, look, are you sure this gala is happening? Because I have to go ahead and get my plane tickets and my hotel, and I have to plan. And, we are on salary. So I don't have like ton of overtime. I have to plan my life. And yes, it's happening. It's happening. So we went through my husband's company so that I could pay it out. I got my hotel, I got my plane tickets, and I got my car rental, which was a disaster in and of itself. That's
see,
not
that's
her
what
fault.
friends
That
do
isn't
for
her
you.
fault though. But it was
That's
a
what friends do
disaster.
for you is when you have a car rental issue, they that's what
Actually,
a
show
friend
up.
does.
Yeah.
That's what a friend does. Yeah.
They actually
Right.
pick you up from the airport and take you to get food, and don't invite you to go eat, and then don't. Never mind. I'll get there in a minute. I digress.
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
jumping ahead. Um, and and she's like swearing, absolutely. I'm like, Fancy, I'm telling you, I have to make sure. If it's not going to happen, I don't want to spend this money because it was a little over $2,000. I
Right.
think it was like $2,200 or $2,400 that I spent on this trip. Not even my
Right.
spending money. That was just getting there and back and everything else.
So then at this point,
So I've spent money. I've bought the tickets.
right. And then so it continues, and I'm getting more and more frustrated with this nonprofit because she's taking the name, she took the idea from somebody, she's stolen it, I've given all these suggestions for ways to make money for the nonprofit because let's be real, you can't have a gala and expect people to donate hundreds of thousands of dollars when you literally only have paperwork on a nonprofit. They're not going to drop that money until you can prove what the money is going to go for. So I kept telling her, we need to go small, we need to go small, we need to go small. And I
We've got
told
these
her,
packets. She's given us these packets of all this information. I've looked through it. We've contacted my husband, like I said, is in a nationwide company. And we found out who we had to contact. I was getting a very sizable donation. Huge chunk of money is what I was asking for. And I had all the paperwork she'd given me. And then within a week or so, everything changed. The name changed. We didn't have a nonprofit because there was no bank account. There was no this. My husband was pissed.
okay, let's go to Crime Talk News says, well, she's already priming her viewers to do a donation soon. Somebody needs to warn those viewers because every donation she gets goes in her pocket. She did the same thing when we were partners for any time that we were partners. by the way. In Oh, the gala didn't happen, Mama Dukes. So
No.
um anytime that money came in for anything, oh, but she had bills she had to pay first, and that's where it went. Her internet bill, because well, she's using her internet to do this and that, or her phone bill because somebody called on her phone, instead of it going to the company for stuff. Oh, Gene Duffy, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Gene
Christy,
Duffy, they were separated at birth. My story, and I'm
so
sticking to it. See, I said I wasn't going to be ugly, and there I go. Just sit here and drink my
so
tea.
they need to understand that when they do a donation, they need to make sure they get that 501c3 letter, because I guarantee you it's not going to get reported as a donation. So they need to get that letter. I did look today. It is actually registered as a nonprofit, but if anybody's donated, it's showing 0 donations. Just saying.
I would be shocked if she has the professionals lined out to do what they need to do in the nonprofit, in my opinion.
Well, her board consisted, when she filed the paperwork, she had me on her board, and she had somebody else who I don't have permission to say their name, but they were listed on the board in the paperwork. They walked away and said, I don't want anything to do with this. And I walked away and no paperwork was redone.
Well, they were
So,
one of the content creators, and they left, and I had not talked to them until after I
right,
had left, and I contacted her and asked her if she was okay, and she's like, she's crazy. This is nuts. This is not legal, and that's why she left.
right, right. Her lawyer and her accountant were like, run. So I walked away. I was like, look, I just want to go back for a minute and say, I need you to pay. Like, the whole reason that she and I walked our separate ways, I was getting madder and madder, and I was calling Brandy, because let's just put it out there, Brandy. We have been friends since before I had Roman, like
Yeah,
talking
since the
almost
beginning.
daily.
Our friendship has
Almost
never
daily.
ended. And I would even
No.
tell her, look, when you have an issue with me, because Fancy and I would butt heads, she didn't know how to approach me. And I would say, go to Tori and let Tori come talk to me. Because Tori can come to me with the exact same issue, and her and I can have a conversation. Fancy and I couldn't do it. And I don't know why. I don't know if it's a personality thing. Had Fancy come to me and said, okay, you're under a gag order, and then go to telling me, I would have cussed her out. Tori can do it. And I'm like, I laugh and go, okay, now what? What I do? But it just, with her, it could not happen.
Well, she kept telling me that, well, okay, so the paperwork I looked up, there's a website you can look up to see if a nonprofit is registered, and it's registered, but that's all it is. Like, when you look this website up, it tells you the name of the nonprofit, who the member is, the address, location, and she used a registered agent, so it's not even her address. But then it gives you details of what it does. Hers literally only says her name and the address and the name of the nonprofit. It doesn't give a information about what it's about. It doesn't list any of those things. So all that's really been done is the initial paperwork, I think. So yeah, she doesn't, yeah, yep. But so
There are some things on that that we know that we're not going to talk about for legal reasons, because, as I said earlier, I'm prepared to go legal if she keeps threatening me. Because she is threatening me, and in the state of Texas, emotional distress is a legit file. And if she doesn't think that I'm not going to go after her for that, she has got another thing coming, because she keeps accusing me of stealing and stalking.
oh, we're getting to that. We're getting to that.
Yeah.
Okay, so the contract, yes, it doesn't have her real name. The the nonprofit actually does have her legal name.
Yes, it does. And then my last contract with the network actually did. I didn't think it did, but it did have April Johns on there.
Well, her board members are her daughter and Colleen. And I don't know if she added anybody else or not. Nope, not even a mission statement. Nothing. Nope. So I was getting more and
The
more
content
frustrated,
creators were
irritated.
confused. They were like, are we doing a network or are we doing a nonprofit? What are we doing?
Right.
Because
She was
then she
telling
wanted
them
to raise money or get their own advertisers. And it was like, I thought
they
that's
had
what
to
we were
get their
paying
own
you
advertisers.
$220 a month for.
She was telling them, if you want me to put ads out on Facebook or promote your show, then you have to get me advertisers first. And then from my understanding, Brandy, and then it was, I'm going to pay you out of that ad revenue that you bring in, that you do all the work for. But that's in her contract. I wasn't part of that. So we can talk about that later if you want. But so, I just lost my train of thought.
Nonprofit. We were on the nonprofit.
Uh-huh. So I was getting more and more frustrated with the things. She kept telling people that I was the one who was running all of the details, that I was booking the event, that I was booking the entertainment, that I was booking all of that. But the thing is, she was doing all of that. I would throw up a suggestion and it was getting shot down. But when I walked away, she started blaming everything on me so that she could be the victim. And I walked away
Tori didn't do any of her work, and Tori didn't do this, and Tori didn't do that, and blah, blah, blah. It was all Tori.
So,
all Tori.
And I walked away because I messaged her. It's like middle of May. And I was like, look, I need you to start paying something. My credit card bills keep coming in. I'm paying what I can, but I only went on this trip so that you could go and pay your respects to Christina, because she and I were friends, but we were not close friends. And I wanted you to have the opportunity to go and grieve her and show your respects. And so I was trying to do something nice for you, but I need you to pay me back. You haven't even paid me $5. And I'd already said, I only need like $20 a month, maybe tops. And she messaged me back and she's like, oh, the paperwork, Sister Knives, even has the EIN number. It's, give me 1 second. Brandy, I don't think I sent that screenshot to you, did I?
No, I have ours.
Okay, give me 1 second. Right here. The website, let's see if it shows it. Is that the right one? Here it is.
Well, she is very,
okay, so the website, if you want to look it up yourself, is GuideStar, GuideStar.org. I don't know how to put it in the chat, or I would.
Wait, how did you get a bowl?
Okay, there's private chat, but I don't think that's it. I think it's just me and, okay, so it's GuideStar.org. If you want to look it up, but it just says the name of it. It has the EIN number. It has their gross receipts and their assets, and then her name as a member. And that's literally the only information. It doesn't list anything else like all the others do. So can you have your, yes, of course.
So at this point, I know things are going south, and I know there's no gala. I know we don't have anything happening, and so I've already told Tori, I'm just planning for vacation. We're gonna go film. Let's set up these things to go filming. We're gonna have a good time. We planned it as a vacation. I didn't tell Fancy, this ain't happening. I know it's not happening. I'm coming for vacation. So then she calls me upset because she doesn't want me angry.
You're not supposed to be, but she listed her daughter is listed with a different last name because she's married. So they thought, Sister Knives, that they could get around that.
Y'all stop.
So when I told her I needed her to start paying me, she went off on me and said, I can't afford it. How dare you? What kind of friend would, Crime Talk News. I feel like there's more than that on there.
13.
I feel like there's 11 or 13 or 13. Something evictions. Plus there's at least 2 that I know of that are not even on there.
There's 11 on there now, and there were 2 in Arizona.
There were 2 here in Kentucky.
There's 11 in Kentucky and 2 in Arizona.
I'm saying there's 2 of them that were not listed on there that were in Kentucky after that was on there. After that was looked up and printed.
The 2 in Arizona were in that report that you sent me the other night that you were sent by somebody else.
Okay. Yes, it was sent to me by someone else. I was just sharing the love.
Yeah. Yeah, Crime Talk, that was somebody, I don't know who, and Tori's not telling me, and I don't want her to tell me.
No.
Somebody pulled that in 2019 before Arizona made the law that the cases could be sealed, and she has since had that sealed. Because it's a misdemeanor. Misdemeanors can be sealed, not felonies, I believe. And so it's sealed and nobody can see it except that we have the report from 2019.
But again, I don't really want to go into what's on her.
The name of the nonprofit is SCOPE. SCOPE, right?
SCOAP. It's short for Stop the Cycle of Abuse Program. Oh, so the story behind that, they do credit checks and they're supposed to call your previous landlords, but they can only do that if you actually give them your landlord's information, which um, a friend information, not mine, but a friend's information may have been who her landlord's information.
It's
Hold
got
on,
to
I'm
be
distracted.
Roman.
No, it's Malachi.
Oh, is it
What?
Malachi?
Can you have a what?
A toy to play with.
What toy do you want to play with in your room? Your toys are all downstairs.
And house.
You want to play with it up here?
Yeah.
If you're quiet. Thank you. So when she had to give her landlord information so they could call and check because of the eviction, she actually gave them a friend's name and phone number who pretended to be a landlord. It would really suck if he ever found that out, but I will not be the one to say that. I'm just saying I would never want to get somebody kicked out of their house. So I do not even, I would not condone anybody else even calling and telling, because I would hate to see somebody kicked out of their house, whether I
Yeah, I
like them
know.
or not.
Look, I don't
I
wish evil on her. I just think
No,
that she's building
no.
her own karma, but I don't want anybody calling anybody and doing any
No.
of that.
No.
I don't even want, even though I think it's totally against ethics, I do not want people contacting Colleen's work over the medical files.
Right. Because I don't want somebody to lose their job and their
Because Colleen
livelihood
has
or
two
their home.
babies that I'm not a
Right.
Colleen fan. She don't like me. It's fine. But I don't want anything happening to her family either.
Right. Right, Crime Talks News. If you only knew, see, we have somebody who is not on tonight, but is willing to come on, and maybe we'll be able to do a record a podcast or something with them, so they don't have to fear like being live. I don't think they like doing the lives themselves.
It may be the fear because she was coming tonight and she's a little nervous, and that's okay.
So, but she will tell you all about some abuse that she faced at the hands of Fancy, who then
Physical.
turned around and tried to start a no, Crime Talk News absolutely does not have permission to sell Gypsy's files. Absolutely does not.
Crime Talk. Christy was in here. Christy, if you're still here, do you want to chime in on that? They've actually told her to stop.
So Mama Duke's doxing, you have to actually have a legitimate, immediate fear of physical harm to you or a family member. So, I honestly, as much bullying as she went through, I'm not 100% sure she was actually doxed. Because
you can only be doxed once, and she was doxed 5 years ago on Facebook.
And I very much think, I mean, it's in the legal paperwork, that doxing, you have to have an immediate fear for you or your family's physical safety. So while it was bullying and it was uncalled for, I am not 100% certain that you can legally call it doxing. But so I walked away when she said, "I'm not going to pay you, and if you want your money, you're just going to have to
Fly.
sue
From
me."
what I've been told, Fruit Fly, they are on Patreon. She is actually selling medical files. From what I've been told,
she told me herself she forged Gypsy's contract.
Yes, she's told me that she absolutely forged Gypsy's contract, and the contract that she forged is not she changed the dates completely on that contract. It's not even the same original contract.
Right.
The reason behind the forgery is she was going to a thing. It was really important. She couldn't find the paperwork. It had gotten lost in something, and she needed it. And they were like, "Well, I mean, you had it. It's okay." Well, she signed one that wasn't even what the original contract was. It was something totally different. So yes, she did forge Gypsy's name on that signature on that contract. Hey, stop being ugly.
I walked away because basically when we had this big fight, I was like, I'm done with this crap. I have hit my limit. I hate confrontation. One of my biggest fatal flaws is I always see the good in people, even when all they want to do is slap me in the face with the bad. Brandy can tell you that many times that I am.
We go round and
I'm
round
too
about
much of
this
a
often.
pushover until I'm not. Like,
I
I am a
usually start my
pushover.
conversation when I'm irritated. I'm like, Tori, you're being a pushover. Fucking stop.
Oh yeah, many times. So, um, I started going in the middle of our conversations back and forth. I started going to all the group chats that I was in, and I was like, leave the group, leave the group, leave the group, leave the group, leave the group. So she sent me a message and she's like, I take this is your resignation. And I was like, yep, guess we're not working together as partners. You're right. This doesn't work business wise. Not going to happen. And then I proceeded to block her on Facebook. Since then, I got multiple messages. Tori, how could you? Blah, blah, blah. Which leads us, unless I'm jumping ahead, to where we're being accused of stealing things that we did not steal, that we can prove we did not steal.
Sister Knives, I don't have it because I have not been in her Patreon. I have been told about it. Um,
Move the house around.
why are y'all barking? It was your brother.
Princess of Darkness, I don't know if they can go after her for sharing the medical records. And I don't know that Christy can even answer that question, because even if they could, it's
Christy,
probably
if I'm
something
allowed
that
to say
Christy is
specific
not
things,
allowed
just tell
to
me.
say. But she can, Christy can say what she wants in there, whatever information she's allowed to share that she wants to share. She can put that in the
Absolutely.
chat here. But as for whether the family can go after her or not, that's something that really only Christy can answer.
So, in this time when that was happening, I knew I was leaving the network. I just was trying to figure out how I wanted to deal with it. At that time, we come back from Kentucky. This was in June. We had an amazing couple of days there. Tori and I had a blast.
Oh, it was so much fun.
We had so much fun. My husband gives her a hell of a time about her driving. They immediately became like brother and sister, fighting and picking at each other. It's hilarious.
My husband is quiet and hates people, and even he's looking forward to Brandy and Dave coming back.
So they like made buddies, and so we had a great time. We are going again in June. Hopefully, depending on getting my mother here from South Dakota.
Okay, Willis, the vendetta is because, honestly, and if you listen to Fancy, she gives clues and tells you this, but basically the vendetta is Fancy 100% saw Gypsy as her meal ticket. She saw Gypsy as, okay, I can write a book, and because Gypsy's so famous, people are going to buy my book. I can do a documentary, and because I have Gypsy and Christy in my back pocket as supporters of me, they're going to watch my documentary. And because my writing is so fabulous, I'm going to win an Oscar. And so
we had talks of going to the Emmys, guys. We had talks of walking the red carpet. There was this whole thing.
Literally writing the speeches and everything. So the vendetta now is that Gypsy has come out and said, you are not the voice of my family. You are not a family friend. You do not get to speak for me or about me or have any contact with me. And so there
was one other thing that happened that caused the vendetta. When Gypsy was dating
Ken.
Mm-hmm. And y'all did an interview with In Touch, and Fancy started getting very outspoken and was really trying to force Gypsy to not date, to do this, and if Gypsy didn't agree with her opinion on it, she was getting very pushy. And the one thing we all know that know Gypsy or have talked to Gypsy, and if you watch Gypsy and listen to her, she'll tell you this. Even her documentary on Lifetime, she says this. She has a really hard time feeling like she doesn't have control of her life. And when people are trying to push her, she understands the control of the court system. I'm not saying that. She understands that she has rules there. But when the people, her husband, and even with Christy and Rod, when they start trying to push her a certain way and she feels cornered, like she doesn't have a choice, she gets very anxious and it causes her to react.
Christy.
She didn't like Ken and didn't want me to like Ken. I'm not in high school.
Well, she didn't like Ken because Ken didn't like her.
Ken wouldn't take her shit. And and he didn't want to be her bestie. If you don't want to be her bestie, she has an issue with you. It's just how it is. And in that fight between her and Gypsy, Gypsy called her a cunt.
Yes, she did.
She called her a cunt. And that was when it was off for Fancy. That was when Fancy started turning. And it was bad, but it wasn't this bad. I told Tori the other day, I am truly, truly shocked with what I'm watching because this isn't the Fancy I knew. And Tori's like, yes, it was. Yes, it was. Her mask was just really slipping.
Right.
So it stemmed from those things.
Right. So that's her biggest vendetta is she 100% saw herself becoming rich and famous. I mean, she was talking about the houses she was going to buy. And don't get me wrong. I talk all the time about if I win that lottery, here is what I'm going to do. And I'll draw you
well,
up
we
a
were
picture of my
excited because we truly believed in the project and what we were trying to do.
Absolutely. So when she lost that, when Gypsy said, look, I'm done with you, in that one instance, she lost that fame, that fortune, that award, that red carpet walk. She lost all of that immediately. Just in that one time, just in that instant that Gypsy said, no, I'm done, she lost it. And losing that was very, I don't know, Brandy, would you say traumatic for her?
I think very traumatic for her. I do think a lot of it is a trauma response. I do. And I here's the soft side, guys, of me when it comes to Fancy because of the friendship I had with her. I truly, truly understand where her heart starts at a certain spot. It starts on a good path. It starts really feeling this, and she truly felt connected, and she truly, or she thinks she does. There's a psychological part here that I don't want to get into, but I kind of have to get into, so I'm going to touch just lightly. There are some psychological things happening where she mimics empathy and behaviors and things, and then she overreacts. You can't just end a friendship. When I left the network, she lost her shit. And I'm like, I thought we could still be friends. We can't be friends just because I'm not. We can still be friends. Okay, then stop it. Why are you acting like this? And then within 24 hours, we weren't friends, and I blocked her because I told her she was fucking insane. I literally in my message, you're fucking insane, and blocked. I just over Tori because she wasn't going to be. She was being shitty, and for whatever reason, whatever it has been in her life that causes her to react that way, it's just getting more and more. And she has said, I was fine if Gypsy would have just come out and had a normal life and not been making a media tour. That right there was like ding, 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 ding. Her thing the other day on I wouldn't be reacting this way if they wouldn't have gotten me canceled on News Nation. Well, there you go. It's evident why she's doing the things she's doing.
Crime Talk News. That. How do I want to say this, Brandy?
Which one? The very last message?
Feeling bad.
Craig? Look, I don't want to talk about their marriage too much.
Every marriage has issues, and every marriage has good days. Every marriage has bad days. Some are just more public than others. Some, like Derek and I, don't fight in public. Trust me, we fight. We fight.
There's not a lot of control between the two of them. They both just react.
Yes.
They're very reactive. Because I can tell you, we've seen him scream and holler at her too. On a live. It happened on Facebook. The girls that were here from Facebook days will tell you they remember that argument. That's how the page Free Craig come up. Because he was screaming at her and she went to screaming. It was bad. It was bad. So, but I don't want to discuss that too much.
Right. Okay. So Sister Nods is asking, what exactly is the network? We've said network like for three different things in here. So Fancy and we're getting to that. Back in, I don't know, probably, I'm guessing it was in January before
2023. It was last year.
Was it before Christina passed away?
I think they had just started it.
Okay.
I think it had just Might have been April. It might have been December before.
Okay, it might have been December or it might have been January just before Christina passed away. She started a TV network called the Good Wives Network.
The Good Wives Network.
The Good Wives Network. And hold on one second. I'm going to mute. My son is yelling for me.
Okay. And she started the network, and it's a streaming network. It's on Roku and Amazon and on the website, and I don't know where else she had it. You have to pay when you do these. You have to pay specific amounts for each platform you want to put it on. Nancy, the thing is a lot of people are taking her serious, and that's the scary part. And it's not cheap, guys. It costs money to run these networks. Sorry, Dawn, I did not see your comment, your message. And Dawn, do you still need that link? Did I mute my phone, or maybe I'm just ignoring it?
I hear you.
Yeah. Well, no, my phone, I didn't hear my message go off, and Dawn had asked me about the link, and so I didn't see it. So I'm sorry, Dawn. Okay. It takes a lot of money. It does take a lot of money to run.
Oh my gosh, does it?
And on the network, the creators, not all of us, some of us had to pay to start. It was $500 to start, and that was supposed to get you a website, starting on your merch, and your spot of the platform, and then it was $220 or $230 a month, something like that. You could waive the $2 something a month, but you weren't gonna. Your ad revenue would be different because the money you paid helped get your ads to put on your thing so that you could earn money, and it was a very weird, almost pyramid kind of thing on how it worked. And so she had different content creators on there. She had a bunch of different ones. She had my shows and a couple other true crime shows and her stuff, and some nature shows and some mom shows and talk shows. She had quite a few things. Everybody started walking away. I don't know how many she's got on there now. I know when I looked yesterday and got my screenshots of it, because she now claims, this is where we're fixing to get into it. Well, hold on. I want to show this real quick, because this will be before the network. She tells everybody, she said the other day, those y'all on TikTok, I stole the little purple-haired avatar from her, that was hers. Okay, hold on just a second. Where was that at? Share screen. Oh, that ain't it. It's this one. Okay. Let's see. Here. Oops. Is it showing? Did I do it? Okay. So this here, and I put it in a little video, and I'm just going to kind of pause it and read and all of that. This is how this logo come across, okay, guys? So, do I need to, hold on. I did that wrong. Hold on. Hold, please. Where's Brittany? Brittany always says, hold, please. So, as you see here, okay, on the left, and Dawn, you're going to remember these. This was a chat I was in with the creator, the
artist.
Yes, the artist, the digital creator. She says, so when Fancy sees your graphics, she's going to know I drew them. Do you think she is going to be mad at you, Brandy? LOL. Said, I'm not worried about me. You're the one I'm worried about. She says, I'm not worried about her. It's her friends and the other cult I'm worried about. I said, nah, they don't bother me. She's like, well, apparently she will be fine towards me because she wants the Good Wives graphics and to talk to my friends that I can't see all of that, Chillicothe and all that. So
okay, Jacqueline, you and I need to talk about that later, because what?
Well, I can't see the comment just yet, so I'll be there in a second. So
That's
in
fine.
the center, you see this little message from Fancy. It says, "Did you draw Brandy?" She didn't open this for a while because she was like, "Oh my God, she's gonna lose her shit." And over here, I'm saying, "Nope, those are fine. I love them." Later on, I was like, "I freaking love them." She's like, "Yeah," and I said, "She's like, yay! I'm working on the second Southern Belle." Dawn, the witch bitch down there, was my co-host, and this was our podcast, Southern Bells. So we have that, okay. And so I have this as a video and I'm putting it on TikTok. So here you have, let me move this. On the left was the original that was drawn, Mad Jenner Entertainment. Remember I was talking about the original company? On the right is what she had shown me. How about we change it to this? Fancy didn't want to use it. Fancy hated this design. I absolutely loved it. I've always loved it. And so I had this one. And I think originally I had put that one up, and then I had her change it. And this,
Mom, this is a house.
is the changes.
From the mini video.
So the one on the left is the one she had done. The one on the right is what I had her change it to. The faces are totally different. The eyes are open. It's not the winky eye. And I love her. I have loved her from the time Teresa drew her. And I shouldn't have said her name. I have loved her from the very beginning, and this is what I got. And I've absolutely used it. Do I still use it because it pisses Fancy off? Yep. But I'll use it because I love it. So these are what Fancy uses. Now somebody drew this one on the left for Fancy when all of this come down.
Brandy,
huh?
it's not showing up on the screen. Nobody can see it.
What?
And your
Where'd it
video is
go?
slightly delayed.
Where'd it go?
Okay, while you're looking and doing that, okay. Jacqueline, Crime Talk News is talking about a network marketing company called It Works that Fancy was part of. But Crime Talk News, I think Jacqueline is talking about like a business networking, like you meet people and see what you have together, you know, how you can help each other, kind of a networking event. I don't think she means actually the network marketing company. So I just wanted to clear that up real quick with you.
So where did it stop? Where did it stop showing y'all anything? Any of it?
When you first said, "Oh, I did the wrong thing," it went away, and you came back, and you're delayed. At least for me, I don't know if
Am I
you're
delayed for everybody else?
Hey guys,
Well,
is she delayed? Like I can hear your words, and then your mouth moves later. But it stopped. It popped up for a second, and then it was your initial the screen that says, "She said I stole intellectual property."
okay,
Number
yeah, that's
one,
actually
she
end
didn't
of
own
it.
That's
y'all
the
didn't see
only
any of
thing
it.
we saw. And
Okay,
we didn't see
y'all didn't
anything
see any
after
of it.
that.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do, you do that. What I'm gonna do is when I add it, I'm just gonna let it play through, and I'll talk over it. That way I don't mess it up, because evidently I messed it up. Can y'all see me better? Is my lips moving properly now?
You're probably about 5-6
Okay.
seconds behind.
I'm gonna remove myself and come back.
Okay.
Okay. Is that any better? No. Okay, here. Let's do this.
Yeah, let's pop this up.
And I'm putting this on TikTok and everything. The left one is the original. She hated it. The right was what was made, which she kind of transformed a little bit of it for me. And then I had her change it even more.
Mom, what is that?
And the eyes are open. They're blue. This is what she's been using, the little avatars for the little 50s housewives look. Did not steal. I did not steal. Is it still up there before I start talking? Yes. I did not steal Fancy's intellectual property. She didn't create it. She never paid the artist for it. When I was given the piece, Fancy hadn't ever even used the original because she didn't like it. The artist asked her to remove all of her artwork, which is why none of it is on any of her stuff at this time. I guess I could have let that play while I read that. I slowed it down so people could see it. And I thought I
And
actually...
the definition of intellectual property would be something that you own, that you created. And since she did not, even if she had paid for it, it's not her intellectual property. It's a
Right.
piece of artwork that she would have paid for. But she didn't actually even pay for it, so she had no claims to it.
Nope. And that's not even, and now it's even different. I've even changed things to it. Am I still not matching, or my words not matching my lips? They're not for you.
They're not for me. I don't know if they are for everybody.
Am I
watching.
matching, chat? Am I matching, like, is there a delay in my words for my lips? Yes, Crime Talk News. Absolutely. That's what she's doing. And it's going to stop. Some say no, some say yes. What the hell? What do I do?
I would just keep going. I can hear your words.
Okay.
I can hear your words. Unless that bothers you guys in the chat.
So that for me is a big thing. I'm delayed.
Christy, can I tell them the message you just sent me? Is that okay? Because that's funny. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm gonna have to move. So Christy just messaged me. She's like, Tori, you look like you have stuff coming out from the side of your head from your son's artwork. So how about I make this dinosaur here my backdrop? We'll just add him in. There we go. That was funny. Oh, that was funny. Thank you.
The other thing is she keeps saying, she says that Tori stole her, what was it, documents?
Okay, so now she's accusing me everywhere of stealing her network, which, first of all, Brandy, if you have those, you can pop them up. She started her network. Now we do have Brandy and we have a third business partner. We have our own TV network. If you want that information, just reach out to Brandy. She can give it to you. I don't know if she wants to put that on here or not. I don't care.
We can, yeah, I'll drop it here in just a minute. Let me get these.
No big deal. So she says that I stole her network. In fact, when we started it, I had her blocked on everything for 2 months at least. So she sent me these messages. She put a review on our Facebook page that we created saying 0 out of 5 stars. It said that I stole her network, that it was actually a company that she and I created 7 years ago or something. And Crime Talk News, look in Delaware, because Delaware doesn't have any yearly tax payment requirement. So I think she might have, if she did it at all, it would have been as a registered agent in Delaware. But she has to pay the registered agent, and I'm not sure she's continued to pay them. I know, 7 years for freaking everything. But she said that it was actually a company that I helped start with her 7 years ago. Which, number one, the company we started together 7 years ago was Unfiltered Dreams Productions. That was dissolved within a year, maybe a year and a half later. So not even the same company. Then she says that I stole her network and I'm passing it off as my own. Brandy has the screenshots that I have taken from our paperwork with our Kentucky Secretary of State, as well as the letter from the IRS and I did black out our EIN number and my address, but it lists my name, which is actually Victoria, it lists the parent company, which is Wild Wolf Media. Wild Wolf Media is the parent production company that owns our TV network. And it shows the date, which was in July. Now, it's very important that you see those dates and understand those, because she claims that I stole her network. However, during July and August, she still had her network up on Roku and Amazon and wherever else she had it, actively promoting shows, putting shows up, things like that. How could I have stolen a network when we both had different networks up at the same time? If I stole her network, hers would have been gone and down. Number one.
At this time, this is what is on Fancy's Facebook. Still says she's the CVO of the Goodwise Network. Okay.
It says here also, put that back a second if you can. It said founder of the Stop the Cycle of Abuse program. That is the nonprofit that we talked about, that she filed the paperwork that was completely somebody else's.
Oh, wait. Sorry, I meant to
Thing.
leave that up there and hit the wrong button.
That was that
So
nonprofit
here-
that she stole. Speaking of stealing things.
Yeah. This is one of the shows on her network.
And you can see the date there.
Yep. I don't remember what that date said.
I think it's in July.
Here's this one. And like I said before, y'all, I'm still learning Restream. It's a little
Here's
bit
another
different.
one in August.
This one is
Talking about
August.
another episode that she has.
So, I want to open this. And so I didn't look at this screenshot, Tori. Is it everything is good in that screenshot you sent me of our business?
I should have redacted everything on there, yes.
I didn't look, so I didn't want to add it.
Mm-hmm.
Till I double checked with
I
you.
made sure to redact the things that needed redacted.
This is our business, guys.
Oh, that's blurry. Okay, there it goes. See, Wild Wolf Media, Victoria Johnson, date of this notice, 7/17, employee, the employer identification number. We assigned you an employer identification number. See, that is all in there, and that was middle of July of 2023 with from the IRS itself. And she still in August was promoting her network. We signed paperwork, and Fancy claims that we stole it and took it from her, but she still had stuff showing. And Brandy, I think I forgot to send you the screenshot. If I need to, I can really quick, of our emails when we first signed up with our TV network. Do you need that? Do you need me to send it really quick?
If you want to. So
It's up to you.
Let's do this page.
Let's see.
Why is it not showing? Oh, there it is. This right now is her current website. That shows the Good Wives Network still being active. Everything she's got on there.
Let's see.
It's not active on any of the things because she can't pay the bills. Because like I said earlier, it's expensive. It costs money. We spend a lot of money every month paying for our network.
We bought our domain name on July 17th. I will send you. Oh, nope. Let me adjust that because it showed my credit card number.
Yeah, don't do
Really
that.
not interested in that.
So we
I'm
had like
sending
all
that.
this rain for the last 2 weeks, and my ducks refused to go into the coop, and so they're out there running around like little idiots right now. That's what the dogs keep barking at. It's the ducks. Okay. Oh, you said
We had our onboarding for our own network on July 25th, which means we were starting our own network July 25th. However, she is, again, accusing me of stealing those. She's also accusing me of stealing her intellectual property and passing it off as her own. She seems to like to say that people steal her intellectual property.
Because she steals everybody else's.
She's
Sorry.
never actually said what that intellectual property is, but I'm going to assume that she's talking about her contracts. Brandy can show you. And Brandy, I know you're under an NDA with your original contract with me for the TV network. That contract was strictly for you as a content creator. You had an NDA. That contract has expired, but your NDA was extended for 6 months afterwards. I am releasing you from that NDA if you want to share that contract information.
Okay.
I am releasing you from that NDA for these purposes. See right there, should have the date July 19th at 10:08 a.m. Domain
July
name
17th.
right there.
It says July 17th.
Yes, July 17th, 2023 at 10 a.m. has the domain name. Thank you for your purchase. Shows that it was completed. That was in July. She still had her TV network. The next screenshot I sent you showed our onboarding with the TV network itself. And that also has a July date.
Right.
I cannot.
So let me
gotta talk
ask
to your
you
sister.
guys, because the other thing she does say, because if y'all want to see it, I'll show it and I will show hers. Quit licking me. Jovi wants to give kisses and he gives the sloppiest kisses. Quit, dude. I have my contract with Mosaic TV and I have my contract with the Good Wives Network. If y'all want me to compare them, I will compare them. I don't know how to compare them side by side because I'm still learning to restream and it's a little confusing. I can always make a video and take some clips of each one and put them and do it that way. I could break it down. Fancy's contract, there was a 30% pay of net profit of ads. They were going to make a website. They were going to make merch with percentages on all of that.
That net profit, you just said she paid 30% of net profits. And what that means is after expenses. And she doesn't say what those expenses are. So she could literally have Great. She literally could have told her content creators that I'm sorry, all the ad revenue had to be used for bills. I have nothing to pay you this month. And it was perfectly legal.
Yep.
D-Witch, what was professional? I have no idea what I even said. I try to stay professional in things, but...
Sharing the details of how it's done for business.
Gotcha.
Starting it. When y'all, if you go look it up, you're not going to find my name on that yet because I'm going there in a few months, and that is when we were waiting till the first of the year because of taxes, and it'll be actually contract-wise I will be official, but I won't be on the business side legally until I get up there where I can go sign the paperwork in person.
Right. Our bank actually requires all the owners to be in person together signing the bank paperwork, and the bank also requires all owners to be on the bank. So we can't have her officially on anything until she's here in person. So
well, Sister Knives, she is, but she does have people in her chat saying that they're willing to help her get the money together to sue us. I told her when she filed her copyright strike on me she has a trailer up for her Gypsy documentary, and my name's in there, Tori's name's in there. There's a lot of our names in there. She gave it to me. I asked if I could share it. I was part of her network at the time. I shared it. When I left, I forgot about it. I had remembered and was going to come back and delete it and got busy and it slipped my mind. It's like a 1 minute, 2 minute trailer. It's not that big of a deal. She was mad because Crystal that did photos for her was like, you didn't pay me for my pictures, take them down. So she blamed that on me.
So I sent you those screenshots as well. Crystal was a friend of mine, and she's a photographer, and she took some professional photos. And I sent Brandy the screenshots, I believe, where Fancy said she loved them. They were amazing, and she needed to pay her and set up another what is the word? Photo shoot. And she started using those pictures. She made a teaser trailer for a TV show, posted it on her network. My friend was like, hey, she's never paid me. And I was like, I've already got her blocked. You're gonna need to handle that. Here's how you do it. Here's how you contact her, and let her know that she's welcome to use it if she will pay you, and if she will credit you, because she wasn't even crediting my friend. And so my friend was like, "Hey, now I have friends generally that will have my back." Like,
and I appreciate, real quick, I appreciate everybody staying with us. I know this is extremely long. There's just so much, and we're not even getting to all of it. There's a ton of
right.
information.
So, she she decided, no, I'm not going to pay you. You need to make the person who's in your pictures pay you, even though she was the one using the pictures. Even though she was the one that requested the pictures, she said, no, the victim, because she was using the pictures. Now, remember, she wanted to do a movie, a documentary type of TV show about an intimate partner violence victim. And she told my photographer friend, no, you need to go to that victim and tell them they need to pay you because they're the ones in the pictures. Yet she wanted to still be able to keep using those pictures. Sorry, I'm mad, so I'm tapping my laptop and it's like shaking because it's on my lap. So sorry for the shakiness. I'm like, point. So she got mad. My friend was like, no, take it down. You have exactly 1 day or 1 hour, one something, I don't remember, to take my stuff down, or I am going to pursue legal action immediately. And so she got mad. She took it down and she started throwing around copyright strikes, and she started posting accusations and Google reviews and all this stuff, just because she got mad that once again she was being asked to pay a bill that she legitimately owed, and it's in writing that she agrees that she owed it. Right, Brian,
So
it is.
yeah,
It's like,
I had to stop and think where I was at. So then she filed her copyright strike on me, and I told her, I said, "Are you really?" And I didn't even pay attention. It had been there a week. I had been busy, and because my brother had died, and all of this time my brother had died. My mom is in South Dakota. I am in Southeast Texas. She could not get here. Our other brother, who he had been living with, he had had a stroke a year before. It had been bad. Dawn, this is Tori, Fancy's business, XXXX business
X,
partner from way back in the
X.
day.
I'm the ex
Um,
best friend. Like, for
she was
years,
very
I was the
quiet
best
back in the
friend.
day. And so there was a lot of stress, and I'm dealing with my brother who was dying in hospice. I was there every day. It was a nightmare. My brother's sister-in-law passed away suddenly, and so he was dealing with his wife and her sister dying while I was taking care of our brother dying, and then we had all of this going on, and finding out that she's filed a copyright strike on me. And I said, seriously, Fancy, come on, remove that. You know you gave me permission.
And you didn't
No.
even credit her in it.
Yes, I tagged her network. I tagged her. Everything that you're supposed to do on YouTube when it comes to sharing somebody's stuff, and or anywhere for that matter. And I'm yelling. I'm sorry, guys. I start getting really worked up. Um, she refused, so I fought it, and I gave YouTube the proof that it had been given to me before she ever even put it on YouTube. She gave it to me first. She hadn't even put it up yet. And I gave them the proof of where she sent it to me, and I had all of this information, and they told her, you have to take her to court. If you're not going to take her to court, then we remove it. And she wasn't going to take me to court. And I told her, I will see you in court because I'm bringing it, and I will ask for money because I'm not playing with you on this anymore because my name is in there. She has my full name on there. At that point, even though most of y'all knew my last name because I'd already been doxxed on here, I had not been putting my full legal name on anything. She had my full legal name on it. Sorry, my full legal name's on it. I have the right to use it.
Right.
Period. So when
Kind
it
of
was
like how she won't
before-
take our names off of things that she's posting, that she still has us listed as
Right.
producers.
She refuses to remove my name from anything. And I keep asking her, please remove my name. I don't want to be associated with you. I don't care. Use my work. Technically, she's not even using my work because she has flat out changed everything we had said. I don't want to be associated with what she's saying. And I've told Christy that. Please let Gypsy know I do not support what she is saying, even though my name's on it. I don't want nothing to do with it. I don't care
Right.
what she does. Just remove my name. For fancy spies that are watching, please just ask her to remove our names from her stuff. I don't care if she keeps using it. I don't care. Remove my name. I can't get her to remove the interview with Katie Joy because she has the free right to use that. I'll stand by that interview with Katie Joy because I meant it then when it happened. I've explained to Christy while I went off on her. Christy understands my point of view. I was very mean to Christy at one point. Christy understands. We have talked about it. It is good. But
Christy and I have been friends since the beginning.
right. But she
I
won't
love me
remove
some
my name.
Christy.
I just want my name off of her stuff. Remove my name. Quit talking about me. Move on. I wouldn't be talking about you if you weren't bringing me up and saying I'm stealing shit. Trust me. When I read Tori's contract compared to your contract, they're nothing alike. Nothing alike. Yours is 9 million pages that make no sense, that
Well,
can't even hold up in a court of law because of the way it's worded. And y'all, I give Tori a hard time because she's very wordy, and I'm like, okay, that's a little wordy. We have to kind of condense that a little bit. She's like, okay, and she'll ask me, okay, is this wordy? Yes. and
I had
she
to
is
give
one of those.
Brandy. I had to give Brandy a heads up because her contract as an independent content creator. Now on the network, I've given everybody their first contract is only 6 months, and it is so much in my content creators' favor. It's ridiculous. It's so not even good in a business move. But I want them to know how much I support them and that they're safe. That if this is not the network for them, they're free to leave. And so I work with them. So her first contract was like 4 pages or something. And I called her. I'm like, Brandy, I just emailed your new contract so we can stay current. I just want to warn you, you're going to get some major PTSD because it's probably like, I don't know, 9 pages now. It's probably twice as long as it was. But just trust me, we need everything that's in there.
And it was wordy. Not as bad. Not as bad. I'll give you that. Not as bad. She is charging people. You were not charging people.
No,
None of us have paid. Content
no,
creators,
not at all.
6-month contract. She had a year contract. No payment. 200 and something bucks could be waived. She's paying 30. You're paying 25. We don't offer them a website. We aren't offering them. Well, they do have the option if they want us to help them with their merchandise. And the only time we charge a percentage on the merchandise, I'm saying we now because I am a part of the company, is
Right,
if
no,
we
that's
sell
fine.
it through our stuff. Other than that, she was creating everything on our network. When people give us their content, it goes up how they give it to us. There's only a few that we edit. And they're all kind of starting to take over that. Thank God. I've been editing everybody else's stuff and uploading content. I even worked on my own.
Blacker.
I'm just slacker. Never mind. Shut up.
Oh my gosh,
Um,
Christy. Read Christy's comment real quick. We're getting to that.
Everyone that leaves her cult and reaches out to me, the first thing I say to them is that you finally quit drinking the Kool-Aid. I told that to Brandy. She absolutely did. That was the first thing she texted me when Tori had, talked to her and we were messaging in chat and messenger, and she says, is your number still the same? And I said, yes. And she's like, okay, I'll call you or I'll text you. So she texted me, so you finally quit drinking the Kool-Aid.
So I think my favorite word in that whole comment, though, is the word cult. And we will 100% get back to that.
Yes. So yes, now they do. It's an echo. A lot of creators want an echo chamber. I love to have discussion, and if y'all ever come back for true crime, I love discussion where we may not agree on it, but that we can have a peaceful conversation on that. And I love talking religion with people when we can be open and think. And so I'm funny that way. I don't want an echo chamber. I just don't. And I'm trying to find, I don't know I'm trying to find the right screenshot that I wanted to share of where Fancy knew about fake by proxy. And there are some of y'all I know that are probably watching that are Katie Joy fans, and y'all have asked me about Christy with Katie Joy. Katie Joy has never done a thing to me and my family, so I do not compare fancy to Katie Joy. And a lot of people do, and I understand why Christy does not. She also understands why I have issues with Katie Joy. And it is what it is. I don't fault her for that. And I've told her, I hope that she doesn't do you the way I've seen her do other people. I do. I absolutely do. If she doesn't, then thank God, that's amazing. If she does, then, well, we'll deal with that when it happens. And let's see, the other differences on the contract. There was a 1-year contract, yours was 6 months. The content. So every bit of content that they put on their network, they're produced by the Good Wives Network. When you do that, the network then owns that piece. You may own what's in it, but you can't take what's actually there. They can continue to use it. You can't leave their names on it. So they wanted their openers and trailers. I kept telling her, no, I have my own. And she didn't like that. I hated what the editor kept giving. I'm like, I don't like this. It's gross. It's stupid. I sent it to Tori several times, and she's like, oh my God. I'm like, it's horrible. Like, he never messaged me once to find my personality to even get what I wanted on an opener. And I'm like, I'll make my own. Thank you. I have mine. I don't need you to do it.
Right. And with ours, it's no, this is not candy, son. This is a cough drop. You can't have it. It might have fallen. So in our contract, like I specifically spell it out there that at the end of the contract term, at the termination by either party, you own your show name, you own the show's content, and you own any equipment that you brought into your show to begin with. Like, I'm not trying to take any ownership of anybody's show. There's a couple of shows that we are the producers for, and those are listed that it's a Wild Wolf Media production. But for the most part, if it's yours, it's yours. And I'm not trying to throw anything on there that we don't believe, that we don't actually own. I'm not trying to take anybody's content from them. I'm not trying to trick them into a way that, well, gee, I'm a producer, so I can keep it on my network, even if, oh gosh, Jackie, I am sorry. You know I'm terrible at attachments, girl. Ignore it. Dude, I just got shot by my kid with a Lego bullet. He just shot me.
That's probably a bad idea to do me.
Yeah, maybe don't do that. You know, if I put a Wild Wolf Media production on something, then that gives them that gives me the right that when they leave, I can continue to play that content because I'm the producing company. Jackie, shut up. It's not funny. I emailed something to Jackie and I did this before. I emailed her something and she's like, I didn't get that, but I sure got your list of something else. I was like, oh crap. Then I just emailed her something else and she sent me a message, girl, you just sent me your storage unit agreement. My bad. I don't know. So I don't put produced by Wild Wolf Media, but she was putting a Good Wives Network production on everything, every piece of content coming in, even the stuff that Brandy literally did everything for.
I didn't want them editing my stuff because I didn't want people having it. It was mine. And so, and I was having issues with that. I just was. I'm trying to find my other.
Oh, you know what, Jackie? You're right. I forwarded you an email that I accidentally sent. Brandy, I sent you the same thing because it's popping up in my email that I sent you the same thing, that same storage unit agreement.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. So if y'all want to know what I have in my storage unit, you know where to find it now. Oh my gosh.
I'm resaving these because it's just easier if I do it this way than there we go. Let me because I had these and then I had made a cute little video, but we saw a while ago that kind of was a disaster. So I'm not gonna. I have to look. I'm used to using the HP laptop to do this, and I'm trying to learn this freaking Mac and do this, and it's a little bit different. And there's a learning curve that evidently I'm struggling with. So.
All right, girl. I just shared a Google Drive with you, Jackie. I've got to multitask, or I'm gonna forget that I need to do stuff.
Six to say me again? What?
See which?
So
probably. Sure, bring it on. Then we'll drink some wine. We'll get Brandy here. We'll go drink some wine together.
She has to go with us when we go to because we go into 1922 house. Y'all know I gotta go.
Yeah.
So back to the stuff in the beginning with Fancy accusing Christy. Dawn Brown, have you heard this? Where she is accusing Christy of being behind fake by proxy and the free Craig and all of that. All of that is Christy's fault now. She blocked me on TikTok, but she's been reported, but not by me doing. Do I tell people to report it? Yes, I do after I get told that it's being reported. Yep. So
I blocked her on Facebook, but she's got me blocked on everything. But I can't help it. People keep sending me. They're like, "Did you see this? Did you see this? Did you see this?" And I'm like, so yeah, I'm blocked too. Like, we all been invited to the block party. That's okay though, because our block party has wine and it's got bourbon and it's got music.
I play different. I look at it this way. If I'm going to mention your name, I'm not blocking you in my chat because you have the right to come talk to me because I'm an adult. I like to have an adult conversation. Come on, panel. I dropped the link for her last time. She wouldn't come up. So, I'm going to show these little bitty tidbits of conversation. So, this here is just one. Oh, I did not edit that one properly. Never mind. We're not going to show that one.
Oh, yeah, no, let's not do that. Oh, yeah. We got a fully stocked liquor cabinet for our little block party.
You know what we don't have? We go to the liquor store. Okay, we can do this one.
Hello, Colleen. If there's anything you'd like to add in, you're more than welcome to. Colleen is here with us.
Oh, is she?
She is.
Well, hello, Colleen. Colleen, you might want to see some of the screenshots I have of things that were said about you. I'm just saying. And it's small. I hope y'all can read that. Figure out which one it was I put up there.
I might have an idea to.
Yes, Dawn.
What I've done about.
So it says, weren't you the one who created Free Craig? Is there some way to get that page shut down? And they said, yeah. And no, there isn't, because they kicked me out of the admin. So Mickey has that one too. Yes, Mickey has Free Craig and Fake by Proxy. I just don't understand why you guys just didn't shut them down. And she is the only one. I was going to when I left, but it didn't expect Mickey to delete me from my own page. And so then she goes on, Jean and I were going on deleting everything that was tied to us. So we have that. Then we have, can y'all quit kicking me out there, dogs? I actually like this one. We're going to do this one. Because this one here, when I got this information the other night, I did not know this. It says, and this person, I have their name cut out. They can say it was them if they want to. But as far as Christy goes, I personally never held any conversations with Christy ever. I created Fake by Proxy before I even joined Natasha. So Fancy can say it was Christy's can't say it was Christy's doing. It certainly wasn't. Christy was never in our chats. She may have been in chats with Natasha, but that's all I know. And I said, oh, well, see, that's interesting to know. I had no idea that Fake by Proxy was made way before this woman joined Natasha. Because then that changes things.
Okay,
I said, so when Fake by Proxy was created, it was you on your own calling Fancy out, and then you made friends with Natasha. And then I ended up cutting it off, but she says yes. Dogs? You don't quit. This 6-month-old German Shepherd puppy's gonna drive me nuts. So there you have it, guys.
Okay, so Colleen would like to know what's being said about her, that this is a hate F party already. Colleen, this is not a hate fancy. This is a contradicting the lies with the truth, such as the fact that I did not steal your network. I started my own while you guys still had your own up and running. Whether you have one now or not has no bearing on me and my network. And I did not steal your network. So this is not a fancy hate party. This is
And I
literally
said, and Colleen,
approving the facts.
Absolutely go back to the beginning, and I say it's not a
Now,
hate. We're proving things and stopping lies and slander because it's becoming a legal situation. We have
right.
both been accused of stealing intellectual property, and that is a bold-faced lie. Fancy needs to stop.
Now, what was said about you was simply pointing out that you have not been involved the entire time, that you were fired for plagiarism. That's what has been said about you. It has also been said about you that we don't want anybody in here going and getting you in trouble with work or anywhere else because you have 2 children at home, that we don't want anything to happen to anybody's family. So we have stated that nobody needs to contact your businesses, your school, if you're still a teacher, that any of that about, because it was pointed out that plagiarism can have lots of bad consequences. So we pointed out that we do not condone anybody doing anything to get you into legal trouble that can affect your family and your babies. That's what's being said about you. Everything else has been about proving the facts, such as saying that Brandy stole the image from Fancy, that it was her intellectual property. She did not design it, nor did she pay the artist for that. So it was not her intellectual property.
At this point, it's a different image. It's not even the exact same image.
Right. And so we are showing the proof of that. We are counteracting the things that we have been accused of that we can prove are absolutely not true. So
but
that is what it is.
We do have things that we haven't shown that are personal things that were said about you.
You might have said all kinds of things about you. Like she didn't want to let you go. She didn't, and I'll have to look through all my chats. I'm sure it's in there somewhere. She didn't want to let you go because you were paying the bills and she couldn't afford to pay them without you. She has called you stupid and other things. But we understand that she is your friend and you want to stand by her, and that is your call. That is your choice, and a choice that you're allowed to make. But we are not bashing on you, and we are not bashing and hating on Fancy. We are simply pointing out truths. Cliff notes, guys. Am I right?
You are right. Sister Knives, no. Tori never signed any kind of contracts, and I never had a non-compete. Colleen, we're just tired of being blamed for y'all not having your network and your documentary and your book and your this and your that. And I'm really tired of being called non-professional because I think Tori and I have been extremely professional in everything we've done. Just because I don't work out of my home doesn't mean I'm not a professional. I actually have a degree. I just don't do that degree anymore. What I wanted to do was come on here and do a hate fest because I was pissed. The way things have been changed and twisted for the attention on TikTok is sad, Colleen. You're smarter than that. You're smarter than that. Please do not let her ruin your life by the things that she's doing that are unethical with those medical files. It's going to ruin your life. Please.
It can. It can very much. And we do not want to see that for you. Colleen, I see your response there. I've got the screenshots of all of that. And I've got my conversations with with Christina and Fancy, that it wasn't just one. It wasn't just overworked, but that's in the past. You moved on from that, I would assume. I don't know. But that was all that was said about you. That was it. You're welcome to stay and keep listening. We assume
And
you probably will anyway. But
Christy, I
we
can
have nothing
affirm.
bad to say about you personally.
Christy, I can affirm what Gina's saying. I had 4 messages that night when all of that started coming out with people freaking out and going, I'm getting you the proof that that was never Christy. Because they were angry. Because those women went through hell when they walked away from Natasha, and they went through hell and ate some crow to come and apologize. They apologized to Fancy, and they apologized to me for all of the shit they put us through. I have become really good friends with quite a few of these women, and they absolutely look. I'm worked up. I'm not screaming at Christy, I promise, because I like Christy. But they absolutely came to me and were like, we have to fix this and make this right because she's lying. That's not what happened.
Right. See, Colleen, if you just read through, you'll see people are actually standing behind you and they support you.
People are actually
You just have to
concerned.
see that. You just need to see the reality. You need to step back and look at the reality of everything since you've been involved from the beginning, from when you were involved, and that's a decision you have to make in your life on your own time if you choose to make that decision. None of us can make you make it. None of us can show you what we see, but this is, oh my gosh, is Ozzy snoring? I don't even hear it.
Yes,
but no, this is not a bash Colleen anything at all.
Fixing to send him to Dawn and Annie because dang it, he's driving me crazy. He's being bad. Fancy vendetta. I didn't want any part of it, and Fancy got mad. She is hurt and she's reacting badly, and it's just not okay. It's just not okay. It's not Gypsy's fault, guys, that Nick is still in prison. It is not Gypsy's fault that he didn't take the deal he was offered. It's not Gypsy's fault that the courts looked at it different. She is not responsible for Missouri law and how they do things. She did her time. She did what she was supposed to. She is in counseling now and doing what she's supposed to. Let her be and quit making her a big-ass fucking villain. I'm not going to villainize Nick either because I do think they were both extremely manipulated. I do think they were both neglected in a lot of ways, and it's a sad situation. But she doesn't need to be drugged like she's being drugged right now. It makes me angry. I'm going to shut up now.
I didn't even have to rein you in, Brandy. Look at that.
I'm trying really hard. Let's see. Am I missing any comments I need to go over? Colleen, I can just say that if there are some things, some red flags that are popping up, feel free to reach out to me and Tori. We'll have a conversation.
I have you blocked on Facebook, Colleen, but my number has never changed. And yes, Colleen, absolutely. She says here, I've always tried to stay out of the drama piece of true crime. She is absolutely right. Like
You are
me,
right.
like me, when all of the Natasha drama and all of that was going on, Colleen,
There was
100%
one time I went.
stayed out of it.
I went to Colleen one time when some things were going on in Burn Book, and she didn't know, and I was kind of getting raked over the coals, and it was kind of getting ugly. And I went to her, and she was like, "Can you add me?" And I added her, and Fancy was pissed at me for adding her because she didn't want her to know that they were actually involved in the drama. And you know, I know Colleen that she's always told you that she told me not to. I can prove otherwise. I mean, there is those that are on YouTube and the YouTube streets, and I don't know, I have not seen any of my peeps in here in a bit. There's been drama that's happened in the Krama community for the last couple of years, and the only reason I'm involved with them people is because they came to the By Proxy page wanting our help to stop Natasha, because Natasha had joined up with somebody that was a seriously dangerous person. And they had already gone to Natasha and given her the proof and the FBI files, and Natasha was giving it to this person, and so it was a disaster. Well, they came to us wanting help. Fancy said, Brandy, can you take that private? I don't want the team knowing we're involved in that. Absolutely, I'll deal with it. I'll help them do what they got to do. And I ended up getting pulled into that mess. And then she blamed me for it. So, there she is. Steph knows. Steph was here. Steph's been around. And I'm going to tell you what, I've had to deal with some really fucked up people because of that.
I mean, Colleen, you have to ask yourself why every single one of the people that she brings into her life has walked away.
And have the exact same story.
Yes, Brian, Colleen is very intelligent. You wouldn't know it because she's not allowed to talk. She gets talked over. But she is a very intelligent person.
She was on a good thing the other a week or so ago. She was she was on a good flow of something and got cut off, and I never got to finish hearing it. I was like, well, dang it, I wanted to hear what she had to say. When that was before that account got blocked. She blocked that account, and I didn't even comment. I get blocked just because of who I am. It's fine. She's not blocked here. Colleen, people will judge you by the company you keep. Remember that. I know you are smart, but there is one common denominator here, and it's not me, Brandy, and Tori. Thank you. And I know, and look, Colleen and Ty had issues with me because of what Fancy told them, and I am not unaware of that. I've talked to Ty. I've had a conversation with Ty. I've been informed by Christy that I say her name wrong, so I'm just calling her Ty. Titania? Did I say it right, Christy, please?
Titania. No.
Titania,
right? Christy?
Titania. I'm waiting to see if it pops up, because she told me, she laughed at me the other day and said, you keep saying it wrong. I laugh at y'all every time. I'm just going to say Ty.
I swear it's Titania. I think that's what she says. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. I don't know. I get an easy name, Tori. It's hard to mispronounce that one, so.
Chat's always a little delayed, so she'll pop up in a minute. But
and Colleen, it looks like there are several people in here that are willing to talk to you, that want to hear your side of things, that want you to know.
She's laughing at us for saying it wrong.
Is she? Of course she is. Of course she is. Thanks, Christy.
Oh, wait. I have to share this one. I have to share this. So Christy did want me to share this.
Oh, good. I was right. Titania.
Okay, good. We said it right. I was trying to remember how she told me to say it. It should have been the last ones.
But Colleen, there are people that would like to hear things and would like to tell you some truths that you may not be aware of. It is completely up to you whether you want to reach out to them and hear what they have to say or not. But if you do, I think you need to be prepared that you might not like some of the things that you hear.
Did I not see it?
But it's also absolutely your decision that we all respect if you want to continue in the dark and not know these things.
Okay, I have 2 more screenshots I'm going to share, guys, so hold on, and these are for Christy. These are something she sent me a while back. Let me make sure that... Look, there it goes. It sent it twice that time.
Last cough drop, guys. It might start getting rough in here.
Okay, so Fancy wanted to blame Katie Joy for News Nation. Christy, I hope it hasn't changed and it's okay for me to share these. My phone isn't going off, so I'm assuming I'm giving her time to text me to make sure. Okay, here we go. Can y'all read that? This is an email that Christy sent to News Nation. Natalie, it has come to my attention that Fancy Maselli is going to be doing an interview with News Nation. This woman has been harassing us for years. She's unprofessional. She thinks she knows what's going on in our lives, which she has no clue. I have a screenshot of her saying that she wants to bury Gypsy. If she does this interview, we will be declining every interview with you from this day forward. Christy wanted to make sure that she got credit for that. And then we have this one, and this is my favorite. Absolutely my favorite. So I tell Christy, I'm calling you now. We'd been on the phone. So then she sends me this. I seen where April Johns said on TikTok that Rod and I are horrible parents, and she'd tell it to my face. She knows where I live, and I'm extending the invitation for her to come and tell me to my face. Please, April, come to my house and tell me, and then strap on lie detectors and let's find out who's lying and who's telling the truth. And I promise you, I'm telling the truth, she'll fail. Ta-da! So you are cordially invited. Woman up.
Brian, I'm assuming that you're talking about Colleen, that you loved her live there. Crime Talk News, that's all we're wanting to do here is let people see the truth and back it up with actual written proof and not just words. So you're welcome. I believe Brandy and I can't speak for Brandy, but I'm pretty sure she'd agree that we believe in transparency. And if you have a question, instead of blocking you or muting you or saying we don't have to tell you the answer, we will absolutely give you the answer. Even if it doesn't paint us in the best light. Because, I mean, none of us are perfect. None of us are good all the time.
Like I said earlier, there were fights that Fancy and I had that were knockdown dragouts, and we said some shitty things to each other. I'm going to own that. I can be a total bitch, guys. Shocker, I know. It happens. It happens. I don't hide my attitude. FM is short for Fancy, Miss Ellie. They're just shortening it so they're not spelling the whole name.
What this is good enough good.
So I'm trying to think if there was anything else we needed to make sure we got out. I'm trying to do this as a one and done, guys. I don't want to make this a back and forth bash each other fest. Like I said in the beginning, we're wanting to put the truth out there because this is going to go legal if this continues because she is absolutely defaming us and our business.
And Colleen, we do want to let you know that she is accusing us of these things on a... Hold on, I'm sorry. Okay, thank you, son.
Thank you, Jean, for giving it to us to help prove the facts on that. Thank you.
So
thank you, Nat.
She is posting all of these accusations on the Good Wives Network page, saying it is coming from the Good Wives Network. And unfortunately, that drags you into the legal battle. So if we do sue, it's not just going to be on her because what she is saying and the way she is saying it is stating that she is a representative of your company and you will end up as part of that lawsuit. And I don't think that's fair to you, your husband, or your children. So I need you to pop that little bit of information into your mind and just stick it back there so that you're aware. So it's not that we want to sue you, Colleen, because you have not done anything to us. Yes, Leanne. Yes.
Leanne. Yes.
But you will go down.
Let's rephrase that. I'm going to rephrase that. She is lying about a lot of things, but she is telling half truth on other things so that it looks half believable.
Right.
And I'm going to do it because we've been on way too long to even go into the cult part of things that we come up with the other day. We had somebody contact us and gave us this whole breakdown, and I literally had to decompress for a day on cult behavior and what we walked away from. Guys, when I tell people I have trauma responses, there are times when we have business meetings, I have to tell our other business partner because she never went through all of this stuff. And I have to say, I'm having a flash, I'm having a moment.
The times I have had to play the go between and be like, look, third business partner, she's feeling attacked right now, even though you didn't attack. So we need to back this up and try again, because there is some major PTSD.
Serious PTSD. I even
Yeah.
last night, because when the whole lawsuit thing came up with Fancy threatening to sue,
Oh my gosh.
the other business partner was a little concerned because we're trying to keep our business professional, and I got the phone and told her, I was like, okay, I'm having a little bit of trauma response. Is she trying to tell me I can't speak up and point out the truth? And she's like, no. And I'm like, okay, because so many times that happened, and so it's there's a lot, and it's like it's serious. And so I'm going to do another one on breaking the cult side of it down, because it's very, very interesting. And then once you've heard it, you're like, you can't unhear it, and then you're like, oh my god, wow. And I see it a lot on YouTube, and on social media, and in reality, it's a scary situation.
Oh, there goes Tracy popping in. Now Tracy is our third business partner, and I didn't want to mention her name, but she's going through, like we said earlier when we asked you to send up prayers. Her grandson is going through something major at the hospital, but she just popped in and she goes, she
Hi,
does. I
Chip.
told her I think she has PTSD. Like she
Hey,
knows.
Ellaby.
She knows.
Yeah, I there are several things that make me go ooh, and I can't help it. It's just look, it even happens in regular life here. Oh, Dawn, when I break down the cult thing that the the person that's in psychology broke down for us, it was mind blowing.
Oh my gosh, yay.
Yay, the baby's good. Or he's better.
That's wonderful, Tracy. It's wonderful.
So, anybody have questions that we can answer before we shut it down for this go? And for what I'm seeing in the chat, everybody really, really, really loves Colleen.
Right.
And that's the thing, is she does like to keep people around that other people like, because it's a buffer.
And Colleen, I have you unblocked. I had you blocked because I don't like my page being stalked. And I know for a fact that if you've given her your password, she will log in, whether you know it or not, and read your messages and stalk other people that have blocked her through your Facebook.
Because that is how she found out about Christy and the other two leaving at one time. She logged into one of their Facebook, because she used to get into their Facebook to go to Natasha's page and do all the stuff. And she went in there and saw their conversations, and that's how she found out.
So I have you unblocked. I will keep you unblocked for a couple of days, Colleen, if you choose to reach out and talk. If not, that's okay too. I will be blocking you again in a few days, because again, I don't need to be stalked by somebody that I have blocked and I don't know that if she has access through your stuff or not. So. But I do have you unblocked at the moment. But if there's anything else that you guys have questions about, we will be happy to answer. Like she said, I really do not want to.
I'm not going to do it the back and forth.
I don't want to do another one.
The truth. If I need to put out the other screenshots that I have for more proof, I'll put it up in a little video. That way people can go back to it. I am going to put the one of the logo on TikTok, so you people on TikTok can share it out. I have no problem admitting to my mistakes. I always take accountability for my actions. That's the big difference between her and I. And Christy did own up to her that she shared things with Natasha because she was hurt. When we did that interview with Katie Joy twisted a few things, and it upset Christy. And And that's my issue with Katie Joy, is that she caused issues with Christy that we didn't need to have. And we were really trying at that point to sever everything but keep the project going positively. And it was a nightmare. It just was a fucking nightmare train wreck. It was bad. And she was hurt, and that's why she said anything that she did, because she wanted to hurt Fancy, because Fancy hurt her. And she knows that she was wrong on that, and she's admitted to it, and she apologized to Fancy. That's the thing, you apologize to her, and then she wants to tear you apart for it when it suits her.
Oh,
bless you.
Sorry.
Don't
really
I
wanna
know all
do
about
another-
Fancy going in with passwords.
So I don't want to do another one of these. I will not do a back and forth. Again, I don't like confrontation. So I sit back and I'm quiet and I suck it all up until I don't. And then I tend to go a little bit postal, a little bit.
When the lies came out about Christy being behind those pages and all of that, it set Tori off. Tori was like, no, we're not doing this. Well, then, and we were already planning to discuss it, and then when she started, there were more lies about us stealing things, and she's like, oh no, we're doing this.
I started having people message me saying, you know, she's saying you stole things and that's why she doesn't have a network. It's because you refused to give them back. Please tell me what I've stolen. My contracts, according to Brandy, are different. The content creators, there were, let's see, Brandy had a contract on her network and no longer, I don't know if her contract was over. Or did you even, you had a contract. I don't know when her contract ended, but she had already been.
No, I broke my contract with her.
Oh, you broke it. Okay. She didn't even sign with me for at least a month. There was one other content creator that I think had content on the network, but I am the creator of that show. That one is called Mosley's on the Move.
They still, but
I'm
we
the
don't even have their
creator.
stuff up yet. We
That
don't even
was
have
my
their stuff
show
up.
that I created because I've known Sam, the husband of that family, longer than he's known his wife. And I created that idea for them and I called them. And so they came with me and they're not even on my network at the moment. I don't even have a contract with them at the moment. The other one, we have a show called Life with Cecil. I don't know if he had a contract with her or not, but I don't think he even had anything on her network. So I did not steal content creators. I did not, according to Brandy, and she's already said she went over the two contracts. According to Brandy, our contracts are different. So I don't know what other intellectual property I would have stolen. If she wants to come out and say what things I've stolen, I can address that. But I did not steal anything to start my own network.
Well, we can't address it when she has us blocked.
Huh?
We can't address it when she has us blocked.
She can come right here and address it. I'm okay with that. If Colleen wants to come back in here and say said you stole this, and this, I can address it. I can't give back something that, one, I didn't steal, and two, I don't even know what those things are. So, but when I had multiple people come to me and say, hey, she's saying you stole this, and this, and that's why she doesn't have a network up right now. Of course, I'm going to address that. Absolutely. Because I am not going to sit and be called a liar and a thief for something that I have the proof I did not do.
I have people ask me all the time, Brady, how come you're not putting more content on YouTube? Guys, you want to know why I'm not allowed? I can't be on here?
Because I'm a slave driver.
Not kidding you. Well, because we had an investor. I'm going to give a little bit of details because I'm very proud of it. We had an investor that helped us buy content. So we're in the process of uploading 1,000
titles. At this exact moment, there are 1,500, just over 1,500 things that you can go and watch on our network.
Right. Because some things are series. And so when you get a series that has 2 seasons with 10 titles each, that's one type. We had one that had, look, I was all excited for Black Beauty, Fireside reading of Black Beauty because I love Black Beauty. So I'm like, oh, I'll do this one. The others have been like 6 episodes. It was 49 fucking episodes. 49. Yeah. So, no, I'm not on here because I'm uploading content from 8 o'clock in the morning until I finally, my eyes are crossed and I'm like, I can't do this no more. Okay.
Yeah, your computer shut down on you too. Even your computer got
Yeah, and
bad.
one day my computer was like, "Bitch, stop it!" It just wouldn't work. It just was
Yeah.
like, it would upload, it would download, it wouldn't do nothing. It was bad. So yeah, we are actually
Right, Christy's
seriously
not wrong. Christy is not wrong right there.
right in front of the camera because, like you said, you do not like the drama. So I know for you to get in front of the camera, it's serious. Yeah, she doesn't. It. We avoid and avoid and avoid, and it drives me crazy because those that know me know I am a bull in a china closet, and we're gonna head on right then and get it out of the way. I'd rather
Yeah.
have the argument and get it done, and then
And-
go, okay, we're good.
I tend to look at it as maybe we can get past this and we don't have to argue. And then it just builds up and I explode. I explode.
Now they did say last night on the 2020 that now it's regular on Lifetime. Maybe you don't need Hulu. I have not looked because I have Hulu, so I don't know if I open the app for Lifetime if it'll show. I know that those that had
Okay, so
regular
I
Lifetime-
watched I could see the first 2 episodes on Lifetime on my Hulu,
Thank
and
you, Brian.
I'm cheap. I have the free Hulu, or not the free, but the the cheap one. I don't pay for the
Christy,
live.
we're from the South. That's how we roll, yeah. Y'all, look, I'm hoping that Christy, I'm throwing this out there, Christy, I'm hoping y'all come in June when we're there for Wine Fest.
Yes,
and
I invited Christy and Rod.
we're gonna show them Kentucky people how us Southerners do it.
Y'all know I'm from Georgia, right?
Right, that's true. That's true.
And my family, like I spent my summers in El Paso, so I'm not a northern girl.
Well, and here's the thing: on Southerners, it's not even just being Southern. I'm Cajun. Christy's Cajun. That's a
So
totally
is
different type of
Christy.
Southern. That's a totally different type of Southern. Totally different. So,
Christy, you haven't
Yeah.
told him yet? Talk to him. June's coming.
oh, because he would have so much fun with David and Derek, and then like we
Yes.
could leave them and we could go do the
We
girl
could send
thing.
them to go on bourbon tours and drink their bourbon, and we can go drink our wine.
Or they can go on the one that I want to do on the boat, where they can go on the boat and do the bourbon. I bet Rod would love that because Rod likes to be on the
Yes.
boat. And so, yeah, that's why I'm not on here as much, and I need to because I love being on here, and I have everybody tell me you do such amazing content. Well, here's the
Bewitch,
thing.
you're welcome to come and join us.
Absolutely. Oh my God, y'all would. Me and her together might scare y'all. So, you know what I did here on Lifetime? You can do the Philo, the PHILO
Yes.
streaming, and they have a 7-day trial.
Okay,
So
I think it's free to begin with, right?
Yes, 7-day trial, and so you can download it, watch it, and then unsubscribe, and there you go. But if you have a Roku device, here's my shameless plug that I do all the time. If you have a Roku device or Amazon Fire Stick, do a Mosaic TV. That's
Pop
us.
that logo up there because there's actually 3 mosaics
I
that'll
don't
pop
have
up, and every time I've pulled it up, it's the middle one. Do you have the logo?
Do I have it
not
on
like
this
a-
computer? I don't know if I have it on this computer.
All right, let me send it to you real quick.
Yeah, it'll be easier than me trying to go through this because I have stuff I've got to put on Instagram for the network. So I have and then plus all these I just did. So I have 500 million screenshots.
Oh, no worries. Give me a second.
W.
And I don't want that one. I want this one. All right, give me 1 second. I will send it to you.
Let me show this real quick. This will show everybody what it looks like. Hey, Dawn or Steph, www. Molly, can you quit trying to eat them up with your no teeth mouth? www.watchmosaictv.com.
There you go. It's sent.
So,
Or no, it says sending.
Molly, quit eating the puppy.
Okay, it's sent. You just got it. Oh,
Okay.
I just heard it ding.
So here is the website. If you go to watchmosaictv.com, it's up here on the top is our logo. Is it not going to work?
For some reason, that's not. Yeah, it's acting stupid right now. They're
It is not
working on
acting
fixing
stupid.
it. It's a network glitch. They're fixing it.
And then we have video on demand. So you can literally, like, these are our private content creators that we have. We have some amazing paranormal shows if y'all like paranormal. And then we have where it goes into. My internet must be moving slow too. We have movies, we have kids stuff. This is kind of what it looks like. Just a little bit of what it looks like. And then fuck around and find out what it was. Yeah, it's y'all, we just had like 15 inches of rain in a week and then like a week of ice rain and like I've had 2 weeks of rain on I sent them a video last night of what my yard looked like and the dogs were swimming. I'm getting there. I love this whole airdrop thing. True crime and paranormal. You're talking my speech. Yeah, we have them. And actually, if there's anybody out there, I'm going to put this other one out there. Any of my content creators that would like a show on the network, we are looking for some true crime people. We need more than me, guys. It's just me. They get tired
Oh my
of listening.
gosh. Okay, so I'm going to throw this out here, Brandy.
Okay.
For anybody that's listening that might have a true crime podcast, I was given an amazing offer.
And I'm going. I'm just going to say real quick, this girl's going.
Brandy's going. So I have some friends that are making some movies. They are making a movie about Derek Todd Lee, the first African American serial killer. And so one of the producers called me the other day, and he's offering it to me first before he opens it up to anywhere else. He is looking for some true crime podcasters that will be given one day all to themselves on set to watch them film, interview the actors, the producers, the director, interview victims' families if they're on set. Unfortunately, this is only offered to people who are on the network. So if you have a true crime podcast, and this is just kind of a shameless plug here for a second, if you have a true crime podcast and you're looking for a place to show it, give one of us a call. We'll get you on the network and we can probably get you one of those spots. He has 4 or 5 spots available total.
It's 4 left because I'm one of them.
And yep, I've given one to Brandy. Basically, if I say you have a spot, you have a spot. He's going to open it up to everybody else in 3 days. So you've got 3 days to decide if you want to have a true crime TV show. You're welcome to have it every other week. You don't have to have a new show every week. And you have until the 1st of March to make your first episode. But, yes, based in Baton Rouge. You're right, Christy. But if you want to have your show on our network,
what's the point of all the slander from others? Because Gypsy can't be retried. People just have to be hateful. They have to be hateful.
Yeah.
But you can email me, or you can, and mine is in my about section, and we will get you connected and make that happen if you want to be a content creator, or you can email the network at wildwolfmedia KY at gmail.com. And so we do need some more content creators, whether it be true crime or craft or DIY or cooking or whatever you might think would be a fun show. Fishing. Somebody wants to do a fishing show. We don't have any of those. So yeah. And
so that's something big for us.
And we don't charge you $200 and something a month for content creator spot.
No. Nope.
As a matter of fact, your first 6 months are free.
Yep.
So, anyways, I don't know that we've had any other questions pop up while we did our little shameless plug.
I didn't see any. I was kind of trying to scroll through.
Thank all of you for being here. I appreciate it.
Yes, I do too. Very
It
much.
is. This was hard to do. I didn't want to do this. I'm going to be honest. Look at y'all. Y'all got me to 1,000 subscribers. Now if I can just get them watch hours, baby. It's coming. Thank you, guys. I'm over 1,000. Now I got to make a thing.
Yay!
Finally. Thank you guys so much. We didn't want to do this. We just didn't. I just was not okay with the attacks and the slander and
Right.
Oh, I love sourdough bread. Okay.
Okay.
Did you see
Sounds
it?
good.
We just, you know what? We just want it to stop.
Right. What will you check out, Nat B, if you can get it there? If you're saying you'll check out the network, we're available worldwide.
Yes, we are. You can watch it. If you don't have a Roku or Amazon, you can do it on your computer or your phone at watchmosaictv.com.
Yes.
So we're very proud of what we're doing. We are working our asses off, and we when we did the movies, we didn't quite read the fine print on when it comes in and how fast you have to get it up, and so we slammed it. Got all of these. We did. I don't know, what did we do? 200-300 titles, and Tori
And like,
has, Tori has 6 kids. She has a basketball team, and she has a job outside of her home, and I am here by myself a lot because my husband works out of town, and I have a farm, and I have a business. So it just so happened at this time I had Ring Fair kicking off where I was going to be for 5 weekends every weekend, and Tori had to double and triple shift because people were going on vacation and she was on the schedule to work. And guess what? All of those titles came in at once.
All at once. In a matter of 24 hours, we had like 300 titles.
5 days to get them uploaded.
Yes.
And we were, look, we had rose-colored glasses. We thought, oh, you just get it and you go hit download and upload it. Oh, super simple. Yeah, no. No. Nope. And Tracy was like, it's not that hard. They're just uploading titles. And then she did it the other day. I was like, oh, shit.
Nice to meet you too. Nice to meet you too, Dawn. Yeah, like we would be like, Brandy, we're down to 19. And then one of us would finish something. We'd go back in and there'd be like 37. And we'd be like,
and I was trying to clear it out for the week the other day. And we had like 9 titles. And I'm like, damn it, I'm out. I mean, I was having a good day. The computer was great. And I'm like, if I close this out and we open it back up and there's any more in there, I'm going to cry.
Right. I messaged Brandy, I think yesterday morning or yesterday afternoon. And I was like, so I finished this one title.
She wasn't even getting it out. And I said, no, I don't want to hear it. No.
And I logged in and now there's 21. And she was like, oh.
Yes, Natby, I absolutely will. I will go back and add it when we get off. Absolutely.
I'm having trouble.
Is the link up above working, Nat? Bitch Talks added that up there. If it's not working, let me know and I'll make sure to add it. But we so appreciate everybody's support. And we literally just did this because we're not going to be lied on and we're not going to have our business and us defamed. Because at this point it's slander and libel and it's an illegal realm. And in Texas, like I said, we also have the law of mental distress. And at that point, with her walking around saying, because I had somebody message me about this, she's carrying a weapon and then, making threats towards me. We're not going to play this. I'm not going to play this. I will absolutely go legal because like I said, I'm here by myself a lot. Am I protected? Yes, I am. I have Jovi. Come here.
The T truth. Can someone? What question are you needing answered? I'm sorry, I wasn't seeing one from you.
He ain't gonna do it. I was gonna invite Jovi up to come say hi, but he's being silly. Which question? I thought I answered it. Did I miss it? Did I not answer the question? Hey. question here, T? Is it this question? Stop it! God darn it. 6-month-old German Shepherd puppy.
Okay, Brandy, she's also saying, Bitch Talks is saying the link is not turning blue, so if you can put it in the description, it might turn blue there.
Okay, yeah, it's showing blue here. Hold on, and I'll do that while we're sitting here. Is that the question? If they pop in and say, because I'm not looking at chat, so if they pop in and say that's the question they're asking about, I thought I answered it, but maybe I didn't answer it clear enough.
I'm watching. I'm not seeing her answer. Marcy MS wants to know if there's a way to message one of us directly.
My email is truecrimeuncorked@gmail.com.
And the only email that I would
about
use
me.
would be, if you message Brandy, either one of us, she'll let me know, and either one of us can answer it.
I'm going to add this in the description real quick.
Heather Rude says she's threatening. So she is, she's reminding people that she packs and carries a gun with her everywhere she goes. That worked, maybe.
It is in the description now too.
Brandy, go ahead and answer Heather on how she is threatening you specifically.
She has made several threats about. First, she sent me a cease and desist, and threatened to sue me. She's threatened to sue me multiple times. I don't catch them all, of course, because for one, I'm blocked. And she has made the comment in something that somebody had come to me about the other day. She was talking about me and some slide comments, and that she's always packing.
So it's not a direct threat, but it's very much a veiled threat, an implied threat, which can be taken to court.
Let's see if I don't know if it's. Is my link working?
It looks like D Witch put the HTTPS in front of it, and it looks like that worked.
Okay. It's showing blue for me, so
What was said in her live, Fruit Fly? Oh, her packing? Yeah, in her live a day or two ago. Yes. Christy, that's not nice.
what did she say? Christy,
That's not nice.
behave.
That's not nice.
Behave. So, alrighty, guys, we are going to hop off of here. We've been on here forever and a day, and Tori is out of cough drops. And I've got a phone call to make and another message to take care
my
of.
voice is, you can hear it getting without the cough drops.
Says, she's saying anyone who attempts to hit her with a lawsuit will get a countersuit. Because that's
okay. She can countersuit all she wants. If it doesn't hold up, I mean, she's just going to laugh out. It's not a big deal. Like,
I'm not afraid of of any of her suits. I told her that, and I told her that with my cease and desist and my live. Jovi, seriously? That's over a ball. I told her in the live that I did about the cease and desist, bring it on. I welcome it. Bring it. Please. Please. Bring it. She has no grounds to stand on in a lawsuit. I now do Tori now does, because she's absolutely slandering us, and libel, because it's been verbal and written. I've just shown the proof that I did not steal shit. Tori, we've shown the proof Tori didn't steal shit. Sit down and take a fucking seat. Anyways, see, now I'm getting ugly.
Okay, it's time to, yeah. Yep. You've held your tongue, and I feel like you're done.
I held it as long as I can.
And yeah, I feel like it might be time to rein you in with a gag order.
Just might. Just might. Just might. Let's see. What do I like here? Looking for one with music. I don't see it. Anyways, guys, thank you all for coming. It has been a great night. I appreciate it. Appreciate the support. I'll share some things on TikTok. I'll take some screenshots of things and put it together too, of the contracts in comparison, so that we can show that Tori didn't steal and copy anything. Finally found this as I have been trying for an hour. I haven't seen Tori in a while. Good to see you again. KV.
I don't know who KV is.
I don't either.
I'm sorry. I feel like I should know, but I'm drawing a total blank.
Good night, Dawn. Thank you for coming, hon. It'd be great
Good
to catch up sometime. I hate when somebody comes in like, I finally found it, and we're getting ready to shut off because then I feel guilty. Thank you, Steph. I'm excited. Now to get them watch hours up. I'm halfway there. I'm halfway there.
You'll get there.
I need to go live more. Then they would, like, you know, it would get there. It's got to happen because I have to put content on a channel because my boss is a slave driver.
He's horrible, I've heard.
He's just awful, man.
I mean, at least she will also do the same thing she's asking you to do, though.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You don't expect me to do it and you don't, so.
Right.
Or do it and you get credit. All right, Christy. I have a Facebook group on this case, and you wouldn't know it as
You
KV.
wouldn't know it as KV. Okay. Okay.
So we know you from that time.
Okay.
That narrows it down. That narrows
Love
it down.
it. Love
See,
it.
now I'm like intrigued.
Good night, Christy. Have a good night.
Alrighty, guys. Everybody
Now
have a
you're
good
thinking.
night. I'm so thinking now. I'm like, damn it. I could start naming names, but then I don't want to be doxing nobody.
Right.
And they may not want their
Right.
name said. So,
Right.
Alrighty. Y'all answered already. Thanks. Okay. Thank you. The T-Truth. Some of these names I have to look at because of that and I'm blind. So, anyways, guys, thank you so much for coming tonight, and hope to see everybody again on the next live. They want me to. I did a poll. I have a poll up on my community page. I've got 2 cases I'd like to talk about. Go vote on it. One's the Crumbly, Ethan Crumbly's mother's on trial for the the Michigan Oxford school shooting, and the other one is the Michelle Troconis for the murder of Jennifer Dulos. And Fancy was in my group as well as Tori. Kelly is my name. Oh, I don't know Kelly then.
And I was in your group. Now I'm going to have to think about it. So you guys might see me again a few times. I'll be on a couple of times to talk with Brandy about a few cases. Not all of them, not all of the cases she talks about, but we'll be maybe once a month or so talking about a new case.
Well, we did just get it, and I shared it the other day. We got a new documentary, and I'm going to have that producer on to talk about her documentary.
Yes.
And we're going to start showcasing different true crime documentaries because that's what I do, guys. I love my true crime. So, all right, I'm going to end this because I'll just keep talking. Good night, guys. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Be safe. The weather's getting ugly for everybody again, I think, this next week. So just be careful. Stay safe and have a good one, guys.
Thank you. Have a good night.